Midnight music. Midnight music.
Sorry about that, folks.
I can't wait for Aaron Judge to sign with the Yankees again.
Did you see the report that came out today?
Yeah, it's like you're gonna get 37.5 for 8 years.
8 years, $300 million is the base.
Is the base?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There were bonuses and incentives there.
Well, they also said they can go up from 8 years, 300. So the Yankees are willing to go from 8 years, 300. So 8 years, 300. You're talking 8, 16, 24. It's 30-something million a year. Close to 37 million a year right now. If they go to like, Jesus, if it goes to like 320, it's 40 million a year.
Yeah, but dude, I did see Jose Abreu went to the Astros. I was like, fucking asshole.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, God damn that.
I was really pissed about that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
I was like, he's betting sixth in that lineup.
I would be also scared of the fathers, aka the Padres.
Yeah, they're gonna have Tatis back next year.
That's why I'm afraid.
God only knows how he's gonna do. They might go. I said they might go out to Bogarts, which is an excellent pickup. Xander. Yeah, I mean, I want the Yankees to go up to Xander, to be honest, but I trust their young guys to come through because Cabrera, he's gonna be a great utility guy. Oswaldo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Volpe and the other guy fighting for shortstop.
True. And the Yankees are going after some people, yeah?
Yeah, well, they got to sign Judge first and see how much market cap they have left.
That's true.
Because they got words. They don't want a pitcher.
It's a pitcher and short. I mean, they signed IK up to a short-term deal.
Ooh.
Well,
he's awful.
It's 1 year.
I know, but he's awful.
Which is a shame because he was fine at the beginning of the year and then he just fizzled out.
Yeah. I mean, his defense. We signed him for defense, and his defense was pretty poopy.
Yeah. Well, we got a catcher, thank God.
Oh,
Jose Trevino. He's a platinum fucking glove.
Yeah, I love him. I love him too. I don't know what it is. I see him bat, and it's like I love this guy. When he hits a home run, he's so happy. Dude, did you see the brawl that happened in the Venezuelan league?
Oh, when homeboy clothesline dude.
Yeah, Asdrubal Cabrera, an overweight Asdrubal Cabrera clotheslined him.
Yeah, dude, rounded first, right?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Rounded first and just shattered him.
I mean, the guy hit 3 home runs and was showboating for all of them.
I get it. I want more. Honestly, it's for me. I want more showboating. In Major League Baseball.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's why I was a big Fernando Tatis fan. Because he's like, yeah, I'm going to showboat. Strike me out. Like, if I hit a home run, I'm going to fucking dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Dude, a good bat flip. You need a good bat flip.
My favorite bat flip is Joey Batista. The Toronto bat flip.
Oh, Jose Batista?
Yeah.
I forget what the occasion was, but I know there's some playoffs. It was
playoffs,
right?
Yeah.
Playoffs, yep.
He demolished that ball.
Yep.
And he fucking chucked it at the dugout. I was like, that's a bat flip right there. Like, I love shit like that. Like, I do kind of hate it, but I love when, like, the Mariners won and they would fucking can in the infield. I know, like, Fretz and them hate it because when the Mariners came back and beat the Blue Jays, they can in the infield.
They can in the infield.
Oh, look who's here on time. What's up? Smacking it raw.
I mean, it's gonna be an interesting winter meetings. I'm pretty excited for the
Didn't
Yankees.
the winter meetings already begin?
Yeah,
Because that's where we're getting all the news coming out of this.
yeah, and it ends the 7th.
Okay, that's not bad. What are the winter meetings for? Is it people just to fucking talk? Like, I don't get it.
Well, it's where the GMs and the agents and whatnot they have their meetings, the hot stove.
But who are they having meetings with? Like the team or the players?
I think it's the GMs because they're the ones who make the deals.
Oh, so it's a big negotiating
Yeah,
conference.
it's negotiating. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But like, couldn't we just do that without having the winter meetings? Like,
Well, it's an excuse to get together. It's an excuse to get food and booze and
it's probably just to get fucked up. And that's where all the deals happen.
yeah, and media, right?
Yeah.
It's a media circus.
Of course.
MLB Network can just be red rainbow bars until March. You know what I mean? They gotta cover something. It's gonna be a dial tone until like, hey, hold up.
Oh man! By the way, did you like Seth Rollins' fit from Monday?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know who he was. You know who he was impersonating.
I don't.
Nikki Bella wore the same outfit to a WWE like event, like to like a Hall of Fame or some shit. But she wore the same style of outfit.
Love that Twitter found that out.
Yeah, it was all over the place on Twitter.
Still working Twitter.
For right now, although Elon Musk does scare me.
Elon's just an idiot.
Yeah, I'm just like
He just-
I don't think you get freedom of speech, Elon. But all right, go right ahead.
I mean, he sometimes understands freedom of speech. But he's just realizing freedom of speech isn't good for making money. That's what he's. That's what he's learning. And two, we're all learning that these platforms can just decide by one person what's said and isn't said. Oh, you mean this applies to all the platforms? No shit.
Yeah.
No shit. You can't just say whatever you want on YouTube. Like people are all upset about Twitter and Elon's letting this and this and that on. He's a dictator. It's like, well, yeah. Like, what do you think YouTube is? Susan Wojcicki can do the exact same thing.
Who's Majitsky?
The CEO of YouTube.
Oh, I had no idea. I had no idea what the fuck her name is.
Yeah, because she's smart. Because she's smart.
But you know what she also has? Like a set of rules and guidelines and not flying off the handle like Elon is.
Well, your rules and guidelines. In reality, if I had it my perfect way, I was to rule the universe. Your rules and guidelines should just be the First Amendment written word for word.
That's a lot, but okay, I guess. I mean, you still have to.
I mean, it is a
You
lot.
still have
It
to
is a lot.
adapt it for modern time. I feel like.
Well, how so?
Well, you'd have to in like what is it in any sort of rules and regulations. You also have to lay out what the penalties are, and in the amendments, there is no real thing for like penalties. Just
Well, the penalties would be like slander. You go to court, right? You like what's his name,
or
Alex
it's going
Jones,
to be like
owes $1 trillion.
suspension of account,
Right?
blah blah blah.
You
all
can't
that stuff.
do direct threats of violence, right? You can't
Yeah.
do that. That's not protected. You can't dox someone. You can't give out personal information without permission, right? That's protected. That's not protected.
Yeah.
But other than that, the rest is protected.
Yeah. What's up, surf wrestling guy? Whoever you are. Dark Omega manager or watch it. Well, I don't even know what that is. But explain to us, surf wrestling, whatever you just said. But isn't also in the first amendment speech?
I know like 8 of those words.
Yeah.
I know the word during, match, and manager.
There's an AEW in there.
Oh, AEW Monday Dark Omega manage. We're watching. Okay, that's one from New
Unfortunately,
Japan
I don't
match.
feel like that's a real sentence, but I'll act like it is.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
Kenny Omega had a match on Dark. Is that what's happening here?
So SmackDown.
No, Omega was a manager watching a New Japan person's match.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thanks, Surf.
I like
Appreciate you.
I like the milk jug bottle. Yeah, Kay's missing, unfortunately, right there. By the way, are you staying for the whole show, or this is just your pop-in for right now?
He's taking a break from work.
Probably.
Yo, Ritter, completely off topic. I would love to get your take on Congress just saying like, "Hey, railroad workers, get back to work."
I thought that was weren't they? Aren't they? I don't know. I've seen the headlines, but like, are we negotiating a
So
contract with them or something?
So the rail workers and the unions, or the bosses, couldn't reach an agreement.
They couldn't reach collective bargaining.
The collective bargaining. So
Okay.
Congress stepped in. Congress has the authority to avoid a strike. Congress can step in and force them to make a deal.
Okay, force
So
force
it's like
collective bargaining.
if you can't make a deal, Congress is going to make it for you.
Okay.
So Congress is just like, yeah, we're siding with the bosses. Get back to work.
What does the contract say? What does the collective bargaining say then?
They don't get anything.
Really?
Yeah, so they wanted like days off, paid time off from work.
Things like
more than
things like every other.
Reasonable things.
Also, things that people strike for: less hours, more
Yeah,
vacation, more
right,
pay.
exactly. So they can't strike.
I mean, they can.
Not sure. All right, Smack and Raw, please correct the record.
Okay.
Because you would probably know better than me. But
Yeah.
Congress is pretty much saying we're going to make the deal for you because now they can't strike.
Oh, because
Because they couldn't reach a deal.
because also the railroads are part of interstate
Well,
travel, right?
In Congress's defense, that's part of it, I think.
Yeah.
But in Congress's defense, they're saying like, "Hey, listen, if you go on strike, our economy collapses." So
That's what I'm
their
saying. Yeah,
thinking is.
it messes up the
It
travel.
messes everything.
Yeah,
It messes up everything.
traveling and goods and
Every-
resources.
Like
yeah.
not just your Amazon order. We're talking fertilizer,
Yeah.
food,
Yeah. No.
everything.
It screws up a
Everything.
lot.
everything. But that's when Congress should go, hey, they stopped the strike, but the House did vote to give them the paid days off for work they were fighting for. I think
So now it's
it
on.
was.
So the Senate's gonna have the final
It's
say.
going to the Senate, but I think it's only like 1, maybe 2 days a month. And they still have to earn it. I haven't
Of,
looked
like,
too deeply into it.
PTO?
PTO. They have, like so
Uh-huh.
like they have like if you how I don't know how your PTO is. It is 7
It's only 7 a year.
a year or like
I at least got
month.
I at least got 7 a month would be fantastic because I would do that. I would never work.
That's weekends. That's just weekends.
But no, paid time off is different. Like weekends are weekends, but if I got
No,
7
I
PTOs a
think-
month, that's 49 days off a year. I'd go nuts.
I would also go nuts.
That's more than 49.
Yeah,
My fault. It's not 49.
think-
I totally lied. That's it's 84.
7 pays days off
From the House,
They
they
asked for 4.
Is that per month or per year? Because that's what we're trying to figure out right now, Ritter. Because if it's per month, I'm saying deal, good, awesome. 4,
Year?
ooh,
That's really shitty.
ooh. But they asked for 4 and got
They asked for
and
4.
got set.
That's really dumb.
They lowballed and got a higher number. Wow, okay. 7 days off per year, that's still really. I get 10, I think, starting. But in my job, you know what I also get? I get 5 personal days.
They still have 0 paid sick days right now.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
That might have been where I got screwed up, Ritter. And also, thank you for correcting me for making me look stupid here.
That's the fucked up part. They need sick days.
I have been following the strike not super closely, but relatively closely.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like they don't have any days off. Like they'll get 1 day a month they have to earn, and it's non-paid.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up. Yeah, I have paid days off. I have sick days, which I never use, and those all roll over. And then I have 5 personal days a year I can take, no questions asked, and those don't roll over.
So I get,
which is fine by me.
I get accrued sick days as a contractor.
Okay.
They do roll over, but I can only use 40 hours a year.
Okay.
No, that's not right. I think that is right. 40 hours. 40. Yeah. So like 1 week.
So you get a week. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a week.
Okay.
It's like right. It's like I didn't even know I had sick days until like this year. It's like this year I had like 80 hours, but I could use 40.
Yeah.
So by the end of the year I'll use all 40.
You have to use vacation, which maxed out at 5 weeks for your career. A guy with 15 years has 3 weeks vacation and 2 personal days. Yeah, that doesn't add up to me, to be completely honest.
So the point remains that they had terrible working conditions.
Yeah.
And Congress is stopping a strike, and they're not getting great working conditions.
The contract, if signed, will add 7 paid sick days and 1 personal. So they're gonna add them. You have to use vacation, which maxed out at 5 weeks for your.
All right, so that's 48 and
It's
60.
signed
It's
by the
56,
Senate.
56 hours of sick time plus a personal day. So that's almost 2 weeks. It's a week and a half.
Yeah, but
I think 2 weeks PTO is standard in the U.S.
it's supposed to be.
Although it's nothing by law though. There's no sick
There's
time
no.
or
It's
PTO
kind of
by law.
for PT. Oh, sick time PTO. I'm not sure. I don't believe.
No, either or. There's
yeah.
no sick time or PTO.
That's
by
still
law.
shit. They need to have. That still sounds really like lowball. Like I can only like. Let's say I have a 30-year career working the railroads, which I will never do. Thank God. Knock on wood. You know, I can only take 5 weeks vacation for my entire career.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, man! Those jobs are essential.
I know.
Literally,
I
literally essential.
I do understand that, but like, I would also like to, enjoy my life.
They gotta hire more people.
That's probably also the issue. No one's getting these jobs. No one's taking these jobs.
That too.
Yeah.
No, well, one, who would want that job? First of all,
it's hard. For a reason.
It's a very, very hard job,
Yeah.
and the pay is not good
Probably
enough.
not
And
great.
as we can see by Mr. Ritter, they have no paid time off.
Yeah.
I sit in this chair all day, and I have more time off than them. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I totally I sit looking at 2 different monitors all day. Oh, 5 weeks vacation a year, you don't get that until
25 years. That's the max.
Wow.
Yes, they have this weird bullshit tiered system by seniority.
Meritocracy type shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Even then, you tell me I gotta wait 25 years to get my 5 weeks vacation a year? Whew.
You gotta work 25 years to get a month off.
Whew. Dude.
And I don't know this for a fact, but I think if you put in for it, they can turn you down, you make you work, and if you take the days off, you're still on call, they can call you back in.
Whew. Dude, that's ugh. That's a whole lot of yikes for me.
Like for those railroad workers, they are on call pretty much 24/7.
I can imagine, especially probably during the holidays and shit.
17 years for 4 weeks. God damn, dude.
Jesus.
Dude, I'm barely 17 years old. At this rate, like when you put it like that, I've barely been alive. I haven't even been working for 17 years. I started working when I was 16, and then I took college off because I was in college.
Yeah, so I took college off too.
See, if you think about it, I was working 2 years, 3 years. No, I worked
a little bit in the summertime.
I worked summers in college,
Yeah.
but full time working. Okay, let's do full time working. I've been working since 2017.
I'll be on year 8, I think, of mine.
And then 10 months of unemployment. So count that in. So let's say this whole year 2022 is unemployment. So 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
2017 and 2021. We're working 4 years full time.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And they have to wait 17 years for a month off.
Yeah.
If Ritter's correct, which I'm assuming he is.
That's
Ritter,
nuts.
I forget exactly what it is you do, but it's in a similar industry, which is why I asked.
Yeah. That is absolutely fucking wild. Like when I got OG COVID, which I'm a proud member of the OG COVID club, I took a month off because I had so much time saved up. Literally, my boss was like, I called an HR, they're like, yeah, you have something hundred of hours, like you can take like 30 days off comfortably. And I was like, all right, see ya.
I'm still paid.
Yeah, still paid.
Dude, I mean, I understand the desire for like pay time off by law, but if that happens, all companies would just go that, and it would only be that. Like companies wouldn't give you more because they don't have to.
Mm-hmm. They're finding the signing would suggest a presidential emergency board recommendation. This is new to me. Do you know anything about this?
They're fighting to sign a suggested presidential emergency board recommendation. No, I don't. Is that the like Biden president or like union presidents? Because also, Ricky, these workers are unions.
Well, yeah, that's collective bargaining already meant union. I know that. Yeah,
there's 12 unions. There's 12 railroad unions, and they said if one turns it down, they're all going to strike. So
yeah,
good for them.
All unions will always stay united.
Yeah,
they always stay united. I mean,
they had 4 of the 12 vote down the latest bargain. So they're all like, fuck it, we're not doing it.
Damn.
So, yeah.
It
Well, what's your overall thoughts on the deal? Do you think Congress fucked him over, or do you think Congress is trying to find a happy middle ground?
from the numbers.
Just from the House perspective, because the Senate needs to pick through it with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah, from the numbers he was showing us earlier on in this chat. Before we get to wrestling, we will be talking about wrestling soon.
I just find his topic so.
No, I know I do, but from what it seems like the House was trying to find a happier middle ground. Biden put an emergency board together earlier this year to mitigate and.
That's when he took his victory lap, saying we avoided a strike.
Earlier to mitigate.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
8 unions settled on taking that deal, and 4 unions didn't.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Okay. I just want to get my food because I ordered my first supply of Butcher Box.
You gotta let me know how that is.
Dude, I struck the gold mine deal. So for the next year, I get 2 free 10-ounce ribeyes in every order, no matter what.
Amazing.
I was like, you know what? This gonna cut it close on a monthly basis, but I'm gonna do it. I'm at least gonna try, but I can cancel anytime, which is fine. It becomes like too much for me, or if like I have to start paying back student loans. It's earlier than expected.
He extended it 6 months.
Isn't it 6 months, or if Congress?
Well, okay, if
the Supreme Court's come to a consensus or some shit.
If the litigation ends before the 6 months, it's
60
days after that.
Yeah.
So it's 60 days after litigation.
Okay, so I'll at least get another 2 months out of it. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
But they're not going to finish litigating this for a long time.
Oh, it's going to be dragged out like a motherfucker.
Oh, it's going to be dragged out. Like, I hope it drags out 3 years.
By that time, I'll be done with my 10 years. Now all of it will be forgiven anyway.
Yeah, dude. I've been putting away $50 a week just for that specific reason. By that time, I'll have to pay off the $10,000. Then I would have been forgiven anyway.
That's great. That is absolutely great. All right, are you ready to get the show on the road?
Let's do it. Thank you again very much. Honestly, man, if you want to hop on a Talk with Tarashuk and do a deep dive into this, you can correct me with all where I'm wrong and we can butt heads on shit. I would love to do it. I would love your expertise and insight. So reach out to me.
Yeah, most likely because it's gonna be a quick show tonight, I think, but we really don't have much to talk about.
Time for wrestling, people.
Yeah, baby, let's do this.
I'm gonna start rolling. Where's my guy? Get the music up. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, we have finally returned from Survivor Series War Games. No, we did not go, but we are here to talk about that epic premium live event live here on this show. Plus, NXT has finally named with an all-star cast of about 4 to 8 different legends the participants of the men's and women's first ever Iron Survivor match. We break down who they are and what might happen in those matches. And literally, that's pretty much it, folks. It's going to be a quick and happy show. Just me and Will tonight on King's Rings Podcast, episode 318, Armistice, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio. And it starts right now.
Yeah, honestly, I saw Mandy Rose crossed 400 days. We could probably talk about that, too.
Oh, yeah, she did. Oh, I swear to you, folks, Aaron Judge better sign that goddamn contract.
I know I would. hey, Cashman, give me a call. I'll play right field.
Oh my god! If I ever see your ass in pinstripes in the right field, I'm gonna be in that section just heckling you the entire game.
Dude, I just want roll call to fuck up my last name. Tara! Oh shit!
What's going on, folks? It is King Ricky Rose here, host of Kings of the Rings podcast. Welcome to another episode 318, so cleverly titled Armistice. It is myself and Will Tarashuk today. No K Murphy because, bad internet, bad weather means no K Murphy. So it's
probably do that. Like, how do you survive in this atmosphere without internet in the year of our Lord 2022?
I don't know, but somehow K is doing it. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But first off, Will, how are you? How was your Thanksgiving, Will?
It was great. It was great. I didn't miss turkey as much as I thought I would.
Really?
So Jazz's family made like 7 dishes for 5 people.
Perfect.
It was incredible. I had so many leftovers, and I drove up to Massachusetts, and I got to do it all over again. I have a full pie in my fridge, Ricky. So if you want pumpkin pie, you know the place to come. It's excellent. I had a great Thanksgiving. How was yours? Where'd you go? Because your family isn't in New York anymore.
Yeah, no,
correct?
I have nobody. My parents are in Georgia. My sister lives in California. So luckily for me, one of my best friends in the whole wide world in my life, done known since high school, was in town with her husband and her 2 small children. One's 6 and one's just about a year. Cause she lives in Geneva now.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Her husband's Swiss.
How's the convention?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, those
Ooh.
chocolates, fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Jazz made these pork ribs.
Hmm.
Off. When I say off the bone, bro, I mean off the bone,
That
falling off the
sounds
bone.
fantastic. So I went there, and like her family is classic Italian, so it's great. So it's very,
Ooh.
yeah. So it was a lot of wine, and a lot of family style of like just make your own plate. Like they're like everything was just laid out. It was perfect. And then from there, because I went Thanksgiving dinner hopping, which is awesome. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's it's gonna be my new thing because you get the best of both worlds because everybody wants to feed you. So from there, I'm very close with my high school football coach, who was also one of my history teachers, and his wife, who was also employed at the school at the time. I've done like career days for his wife because she works at another high school out on Long Island, and so they invited me over as well, and that was great because it's great to be able to drink whiskey with your high school football coach slash teacher.
Oh, hell
He
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, we just renovated our basement. Come here. You want a drink?" He's a big Yankee fan too.
Hell
So
yeah.
behind the bar is a giant panoramic picture of Yankee Stadium.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We didn't watch any football though. We watched Harry Potter instead.
Yeah, well, he's originally from Wyoming and he's a Denver Broncos fan, and she's from Minnesota and she's a Minnesota Vikings fan. So I was able to watch Minnesota and the Patriots with them
When
to
the Pats blew it,
yeah,
right?
the Pats were to end my night, and they literally gave me 2 giant Tupperwares of food to go home with.
Good thing I played Miles Sanders this week. God damn, I almost benched him.
So it was a fun time. I think I'm gonna make Thanksgiving like dinner hopping my thing, because that was amazing. Like everybody just wants to feed me. It's great.
Yeah, that sounds like a win-win for all parties. So
Yeah.
you get to leave before the politics starts talking. You get to start a food fight if you want. Like, there's so many things to do.
Exactly. It was great, and like you would actually like my from a because he's a history teacher, but he also knows world history and he's big on government history as well. So you would love to have a conversation with him as well.
Yeah.
He's a for this is all the old politics we'll talk about the show, but he is a I would call him a sensible Republican. Like he's historically the Republican Party, but he knows how to actually talk about the politics and stuff that makes sense to anybody who's even like moves towards a liberal standpoint. Like
Well,
he's
I
very
know, I
logical.
know, I know a lot of sensible Republicans because
Yeah.
Nash is from Tennessee.
Hmm.
In our Discord server, it's literally Nash, his brother, his friends, and then it's me, and then my friends from Long Island and other friend from Hoboken. So
No joke in
they are
Hoboken.
they're obviously people from Tennessee. They're all Republican, but they're all very very rational.
Hmm.
Um,
But
and it's some things they have interesting takes on, but. Yeah, I know a lot of rational Republicans. Obviously, and my friends here, they're all rational Democrats.
yeah, so no, he'd be fun for you to have a conversation with. He might be interested in being on your show because he loves talking about history. Like he'll talk to you about history for fucking he'll talk to your ear off and politics and stuff. Like that's what he loves all of that.
I do love. What's his favorite type of history? What
I
era?
actually don't know because he just knows
Just knows all of
yeah.
it. Yeah, like I mean, I'm a big fan of World War II, as with everybody
Of
else.
course.
World War II is such a crazy time in history.
Hmm.
Um, that or like ancient Greek,
Yeah.
like Roman Empire kind of
So you want to
stuff.
hear something funny that I learned? Cause his wife, who's fucking fantastic, um, they were, we were talking about Texas for some reason, and SMU, the school in Texas, Southern Methodist University, and how apparently George W, not HW,
W.
yeah, how W sometimes lectures at that university because he lives in the Dallas area.
Interesting.
Like, could you imagine? Like, you go into your college lecture hall, and Secret Service walks in, and you're like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then it's fucking W's dumbass. Like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Don't throw shoes at me.
And I told you, I was like, honestly, I would sit in front of a W lecture. That sounds fun as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too. I just go to laugh.
Yeah. Apparently.
What do you remember Dave? I know you weren't there, but when Dave graduated Hofstra, his commencement speech was the
we both weren't there. We were on our way to Money in the Bank.
No, I was there. I was there for his graduation. We
left after
afterwards.
to go to Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did see him walk. The commencement speech was the founder of Skynet, the actor.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't. The Schumer didn't show up this time, right?
No,
Okay.
Schumer doesn't always do them. I forget who did mine, but I remember it was the black guy who started Skynet. 'Cause he's also like a philanthropist and like a
Yeah, that guy.
I think a civil rights guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what he talked about. I just remember he was there. So I was like, hey, it's a guy from Skynet.
Also, last thing to tell about politics. Fun fact: apparently, Laura Bush turned Democrat, which I find hysterical.
Which one's Laura Bush?
W's wife.
W's wife.
I think it's W's wife.
Barb was
Barb was
wife.
HW. Laura's W's wife.
Laura's W's wife.
Yeah. I was like, that's
cool.
That's hysterical.
You and Liz Cheney can have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh man, but anyway, let's talk about things going on. So over Thanksgiving weekend, we obviously had the first ever, not the first, I don't think it's the first ever on Saturday, but we had a Saturday Survivor Series for War Games. If you watched the press conference, which I hope you did at some point, Will, if you found it on their YouTube page at all, it was
No, I got the gist of it though.
most watched Survivor Series, highest ticket, highest grossing Survivor Series of all time. They shattered a bunch of fucking records, and that's the power of putting your shows on fucking Saturday. And from what everybody has said and from what I saw, it's a great freaking show. Survivor Series War Games is a fantastic show. Great concept. All the stories kind of played out in every match, except for maybe the one in the middle. You know which one I'm talking about. Went over really well.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And we will talk about that one probably last up on our list. But let's talk about the cinematic performance that was the men's Survivor Series War Games match between the Brawling Brutes and now the Bloodline, the official bloodline, I guess, which now that I guess Sami Zayn is an official member. He's no longer an honorary Uce. I think he's a true Uce now, Will.
I mean, he always was an Uce. He was the honorary. I know he was an honorary Uce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see that Bobby Fish tweeted like this imitation sincere form of flattery with all the Undisputed Era wearing red.
Oh yeah, because they were the only team that actually like wore something together, which I thought more people were going to, but it was just them.
I was like, shut up, guys. They did it better.
Did you?
No, I mean, this was phenomenal.
Did you notice that Sami Zayn's pants said honorary?
Yes. Yeah. It was great. I mean, so I watched this Sunday night. I got home Sunday night. I probably started watching it on 10, 11 o'clock. And I was going to watch half of it in the next day. And it was like 1:30 in the morning. The main event comes on. And I just go, yeah, I'm going to finish it. Let's just watch it. It was a great card. I enjoyed it. This match was phenomenal. The storytelling was great. Roman directing traffic in the cage. Like, Solo Sikoa reminded me of Umaga so much. His Umaga screams.
He is a mixture of Umaga and Rikishi. The perfect mixture.
Yeah. And Taz.
Oh, well, okay. All right, I see that.
He's got the body of Taz, the hair of Rikishi, and the moveset of Umaga. And the body of Umaga.
Yeah. I feel like he has Rikishi's lower side, but it also looks like Umaga as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and Corey Graves made a reference to that, too.
Did he?
He's reminding me of a Samoan bulldozer. That was Umaga.
God, Corey Graves has gotten so much better now that Vince isn't there.
Yeah, I mean, so is Michael Cole. You know, Michael Cole.
We're gonna talk about Michael.
Mentioning Dusty Rhodes, like the Stinger Squad, whatever the thing was, like the teams, the first ones, which like Michael Cole dropping these references makes wrestling so much better.
It makes it legitimate.
And even though I knew Sami Zayn, I knew what happened because I saw a spoiler I was real upset about.
Yeah.
Like watching the show, I was like, I really had no idea what was going to happen.
But you know what it was? Especially for me, it was that they set it up the entire show.
Yes.
Like it almost felt like it's almost something that they do on TV a lot of the time, where it's like a segment here sets up the main event, and then another segment brings another facet to it. But they did it throughout Survivor Series, which it started on SmackDown with Jay finding out that Sammy was talking to Kevin, and then Jay snitching on Sammy, and then going to Roman, and Roman interrogating Sammy, and then all of stuff, the hug and
the hug and the look in the camera saying like, I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
Yes, I was like, oh,
like if I was watching it live, I would have been like, they're gonna just destroy Sammy.
That was actually my thought as well. I was like, he's going to get mauled on a premium live event.
Yeah, I mean, there was still never a doubt in my mind that Roman would lose, or the Bloodline would lose. But in this fashion, I didn't think Sammy was going to be the main, because Roman wasn't the main character. It was Sammy. Like the story of this match was Sami Zayn and Jey Uso featuring Roman Reigns. Roman, if you notice, Roman didn't do much in the actual match. He actually got a beating.
Yeah, Roman was the coach. He's the coach. He's put everybody in their places.
Yeah.
Which was perfectly fine. And then the finish of all finishes, KO is about to beat Roman, and Sammy grabs the ref's hand. And if you look at this photo here on our stream, just that tells the story of the entire match. Right there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. Great camera work.
Yeah. Great camera. Because that's from an outside camera. I was at the guy in the middle, which me and Charles were talking about. How much does that guy in the middle get paid? Because he literally can't move. He has to go from one side to the other side.
Yeah. That's a good question. How much do cameramen get paid to camera and crew?
But also, like, who's that one guy that has to sacrifice himself and be in the middle of all of that?
Yeah. Probably the best cameraman.
I would assume so.
Whoever was like lead camera guy, like leader of the ring crew or whatever.
Yeah. But this right here, KO's probably getting his one up on Roman, and Sammy stops him. They did so much. Like, if you think about this, you have 3 or 4 of the best storytellers that WWE has that have proven themselves to be the best storytellers in the last 2 or so years and beyond that. Sammy and Kevin, who can tell a story half asleep on Xanax. You know, they can do that. And then you have Roman and Jay, who have been proven to continually create different chapter after different chapter after different chapter of this epic bloodline storyline, which is all managed by Paul Heyman, one of the greatest storytellers and managers and bookers and promoters and just everything that the business has ever seen. This match couldn't fail.
Yeah, it's great.
It couldn't fail at all.
And the Brawling Brutes looked good too. You know,
they
Butch,
did. They did. Butch is the man.
Great.
Butch looked like
Ridge looked great.
Yeah, Ridge looked great. Butch looked great. Drew was being Drew. I love how they all did the 10 beats of the Bowery together.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a fun spot. Drew wasn't his overness. His pops aren't what they used to be.
No, Sheamus got the pop.
Sheamus got a good pop. Also, I love their 4D animation, like the 3D animation, but like the neon sign with the Sheamus face and the hat. I was like, I want that for my bedroom.
It's just fight night, yeah.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
Yeah, I wish they would have done the Moving Up the Boston song as like a special.
Ship of
the Boston.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And they all came out and something's totally ridiculous. That would have popped the crowd so much. Although I do love Ozzy Osbourne kicking off Survivor Series.
It's weird. It's apparently I forget who I heard this from, but Triple H wanted him to perform.
Yeah, no, that's legit. So Triple H revealed it on the press conference. So somebody asked Triple H, like, "Oh, hey, it was pretty cool you had Ozzy Osbourne. Like, how did you guys get that together?" And Triple H's like, "Well, I called him."
WWE Hall of Famer. He's a member. We have numbers. We text.
And the only reason it didn't work out is because he had a scheduling conflict, or else Ozzy Osbourne would have performed that live in Boston. You know how nuts that would have been?
I love the horn when they lower the cage. Everything about this was great. And I like how Triple H also, speaking of the press conference, said, Like, is this going to be a yearly thing? He's like, we'll see. Which means, yeah, it will be.
Yeah, because he talked about.
I mean, I'd be cool if it was every other year.
He talked the logic of it. He goes, sometimes we can take it. He
Year.
goes, sometimes we can take it away. Sometimes we'll bring it back. You know, it depends on what we're feeling. Essentially, is what he said.
If the story calls for it.
Yeah, that's what he said.
If the story calls for it.
Because he referenced Hell in a Cell. He referenced the same argument you've had about Hell in a Cell for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes,
I'm not the only one. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's a very common argument. Also, did you see like the numbers? I'm very interested to see Q4 earnings for WWE.
It hasn't come out.
Triple H took
it hasn't
over.
come out yet. Obviously.
Well, yeah, it's not over. It's the Q4 isn't over yet.
It'll come out in January.
It'll come out in January, maybe early February. It'll come out.
Yeah.
But pay-per-views have been sold out. Raws and SmackDowns have been 89% full for TV tapings.
Yes.
And their gates have been highest, and their views on Peacock have been highest.
Yeah.
Triple H has been excellent for business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the pay-per-view shows, like, he's what, four pay-per-views since SummerSlam? If you want to count SummerSlam?
I don't think you count SummerSlam because that still had that's not a Vince vibe to it.
Okay, so 3 pay-per-views, 2 or 3 pay-per-views.
Yeah, no, it's 3. You had Clash, Crown,
Rules, Crown, and Survivor Series.
Yeah.
4 for 4. It's 4 for 4.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's actually, I would say the first real one, besides Crown Jewel, was Extreme Rules, because when you look at Survivor Series as a whole, this followed the, and I wish I was in that press conference, I would have asked him, like, you seem to have a trend here, Triple H, of having minimal matches, but the match lengths are longer. Is that something you're going to continue to do outside of bigger events like, you know, WrestleMania, maybe even the Rumble, if that. But even the Rumble, I can see still having the same format of, like, we're not going to have that many other matches. We're going to have the marquee matches, which you paid your fucking expensive-ass ticket for, and we're going to give you all of that, but we're also going to have these other matches as well. It's a very original takeover format.
Prime example, Dexter Lumis and The Miz was a Raw feud, and it ended on Raw this past week.
Absolutely.
It got a very good video package, and honestly, co-main event, it elevated Raw.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be devalued on Survivor Series.
Correct.
But it elevated Raw. It's just perspective, perspective, and perception is reality.
Yeah.
And being in that position on Raw, in a Raw feud, it made it have more
meaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravitas, yeah. It's one of those things where I think Triple H gets the idea of, like, your biggest feuds and your biggest stories, your things that are selling tickets, that are garnering a lot of attention on social media consistently, will make it to your premium live event / pay-per-views.
As it should be.
Everything else can remain on TV.
Yeah, not everyone needs a participation trophy on pay-per-views.
And I think he's like, you have to be, your story, your feud, your whatever has to be kind of hitting all the metrics to gain, you know, that spot, one of those 5 or 6 spots on a premium live event now.
Yeah, and why was Sammy the storyline of this card in the show?
He's destroyed it. Yeah, he's been killing it.
Because he earned it, dude. He's incredible.
Yeah,
he's. I mean, think about where he was at WrestleMania with Johnny Knoxville to where he is now.
Even the Johnny Knoxville spot was great. I loved that story.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal match. It was a good story, and he made it work.
Yeah.
This guy, it really is a testament to Sami Zayn about how fucking talented he is.
He's one of those people, which I talked about last week, is like he just knows when to tweak his character.
And did you watch him on Broken Skull Sessions?
No, I did not.
Watch him, because he's very humble as well.
No, he is. I've heard him on the New Day podcast. He's very humble. He just loves the sport.
Yeah, and the episode was recorded like right when he started with Roman, so he's like, I hope it can go somewhere. he's like, as for now, I'm having fun. I just hope it can go somewhere. And it did.
So I want to read to you this quote that actually just came up today, and it says.
Is that Mr. Fretz? The Mr. Fretz?
The Mr. Fretz is here, actually, yes.
What's up, buddy? How are you? Love you.
So the quote says, Sammy is a vital part of the whole thing, and he's never been a bigger star. How can you not enjoy this? It's great storytelling. Who did that quote come from?
It's great story. Ooh. I don't know. Who did that come from?
It's the ultimate honor any wrestler can get in the modern era. It came from The Undertaker.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And honestly, like this isn't a match you would see in AEW.
No.
You wouldn't see it. And on the flip side, we're gonna pivot over to eventually to Finn Balor and AJ.
Oh yeah.
People called that match boring because they were expecting an AEW match.
It's a New Japan match in disguise. If anybody, if you actually really looked at it, yeah.
I mean, we'll get there when we get there, but
yeah,
that's a great point. I mean, which that match fucking rocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it is pretty crazy. And this picture here should be autographed by every member of the Bloodline.
Yeah, it's a great picture. Honestly, dude, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of Solo Sikoa, and I totally believe Jey Uso could have a singles run.
He is, yeah. He's made event Jey Uso. He proved it again last night.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Him and KO had a great match.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those things. It was like when the pandemic was really in full effect, and they were still doing like the Thunderdome, which I kind of miss. I just love that tech from the Thunderdome.
Yeah, this is so cool. And Apollo Crews had a title.
Yeah, which I miss Nigerian Apollo Crews. I was really a fan of him. I just love the accent and everything and this whole thing. Like it for me, it worked. But Jay really proved himself in the last couple of years as a solo star because Jimmy had he's fucked up his ankle or something, and he couldn't go, and so it was literally just Jay.
Yeah. Jimmy had a DUI and an ankle.
Yeah, yeah. No, solo was the right move.
Solo doesn't do much. He doesn't even wrestle that much. He's probably wrestling on the house shows.
He's a heavy,
which is. Yeah, he's kind of a heavy. Like everyone's bigger than him. Like he's the enforcer, but he's the smallest one there.
I mean, Nikki Cross.
He's a meatball.
Yeah, Nikki Cross was the enforcer for Sanity.
Yeah, but that's funny.
And I'll put this out there too, and because I tweeted it out there as well. Sami Zayn is to the Bloodline what Owen Hart should have been to the Nation of Domination.
Wow.
That's
good because they're both Canadian.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But that's exactly
Owen was kind of like, what is he doing in the Nation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also kind of forget he was in the Nation.
Everybody forgets he was in the Nation. It was one of those random runs where it should have been bigger than what it was because you had a lot of great people in there, but it just didn't go off the way it should have.
But where does this go from here though? Because KO said it on Raw too. He's just like, listen, Sammy, you may be part of the Bloodline, but you're not blood.
Well, yeah, no, he's planting the seeds because I feel like eventually they are going to turn on Sammy.
They have to.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Like I think, look at this photo here. Roman and Jay are still eyeballing Sammy right now. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be like, why are you a bigger star than us?
Yeah, eventually, I think Sam's going to get too over. He's going to get too confident, and then he's going to get destroyed, which will then make him the biggest babyface in the fucking business.
Yeah, he's going to get put in his place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to be the biggest babyface in the fucking business, if he isn't already. And he's just going to get beat down. But I love where it's going right now. I love the over enthusiastic hug between him and the Usos. I love that now Jay does the handshake.
Oh yeah, I love the handshake. I love their handshake. Like Sammy getting all hyped up doing the handshake and hugging Jimmy or Jay. It's just like, dude, I want to learn that handshake.
Yeah,
we can do that.
We probably yeah, no, it's great. I think Sammy and Kevin do have something down the road for them. I don't know what it is yet, but for right now, this is good that they are staying away from each other, and that seems to be what the story is right now. Yeah. Which is great. And I do love the callback that Sammy did when he kicked KO and he held him in his arms.
Yeah, that's what KO did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And he held...
in the sacrifice. Because they didn't touch that whole match.
Until the end.
Sammy,
yeah.
Until Sammy kicked him in the dick.
Mm-hmm. Until the end. And that's good storytelling. That's really good storytelling. And I'm proud of this. This is... The Bloodline storyline has, in the past 2 years, has exceeded all of my expectations. This might be the greatest told story of easily the past 5 or so years.
Yeah, in recent memory at least. Yeah. Also very interesting because the women's match had all the high spots.
Because it needed to. This one needed to tell a story.
Yeah. This one didn't need the high spots. They had the table spot. Mm-hmm. They had a few other spots. The Beats of the Bowen was really cool.
This one needed to tell a story, and it told the best story of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's move over to the women, and I love this shot here because also I love the more we see Nikki Cross, the crazier she gets.
I love the shorter, what's her name's pants get, Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, she was my new favorite word. She was double cheeked up.
That fucking cake, bro. Good lord.
Now you see why Dominic sticks around.
No kidding. You see them beat up Rey Mysterio at Thanksgiving.
That was beautiful.
Which I thought was so funny.
That was beautiful.
It's so funny.
I also find it very interesting, and it's also very giving of Rey Mysterio himself. If we're all going to be honest with ourselves, time catches up to everybody. Rey Mysterio doesn't have that much time left in the ring as
Correct.
a primetime performer, and he is willingly sacrificing his time, his TV time, and his effort to get his son over.
Cheeky. Yeah, of course. It's his fucking kid.
Yeah, no,
Duh,
but like that's. I mean, I want to highlight that for Ray. Like Ray could hog the spotlight and be like, "This is my final run," blah 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 blah. But he's doing the job for his son, and he's making sure his son is over, even though everybody wants to beat the shit out of his son, which is perfect.
Which is why it works.
Which is why it works.
Yeah, but back to this match, they had 3 jumps from the top of the cage. You get the Nikki Cross here,
the crossbody,
the EO, of course,
EO jumping,
the crossbody, which was great because it looked like she kind of face planted a little bit. It looks like it hurt a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got the finish with Becky.
Yeah, the leg drop. That's a funny story.
The reason they did this is per Andrew Zarian and Matt Mintz. You know it's credible.
Mm-hmm.
The reason they had all these high spots was 1, because the match needed, but 2, they don't have any highlight reels.
What do you mean?
From War Games. Like, if you notice, they didn't have any video packages, and like I guess they didn't want to use NXTs, probably because it wasn't on a smaller stage, I guess.
Oh well, yeah, because what was it? The EO spot was when they were at the PC at the
No, they're in Chicago.
No. I'm talking about the EO trash can.
Oh,
trash can spot. They were in the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Right. So the production team wanted main roster highlight video reels.
So when they come back and do it again next year, they'll have more shit.
Exactly. So they have video packages because there's no. You notice in the build-up there was no video packages for War Games at all.
I didn't really pay attention to it, probably because I'd seen the matches, so I knew what it was.
Yeah, you know what it was, but because they didn't want to use WCW because it was from
WCW
the 90s.
Yeah,
and it was WCW. Ric Flair's head bleeding, cool. A 48-year-old Ric Flair's head bleeding, great.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's also a good point, Mr. Fritz. NXT's participants are in their matches or in AEW.
Well, so actually, not really. A lot of their participants, Dakota has been in all of them. EO, Mia flirted with AEW for a hot second, but who besides Ember Moon, who's in AEW, who else was in a Women's War Games match?
I'm just saying any War Games period, the entire Undisputed Era.
Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, I'm saying it for men, and they didn't have videos for men or women.
True.
So
yeah,
but yeah, this match was fun. This match was fun.
It was fun. It was hard hitting.
A little sloppy. A few botches here and there by EO, which is rare.
Yeah, I found that weird, but she fucked up the handstand. But then again, EO always kind of looks like she's half drunk. So I was like, EO, are you drunk right now?
Yeah, it's like, EO, you're usually so smooth.
Yeah.
But a few throws into the cage, like Bianca's finish with Bayley in the cage was a little like, what?
Yeah, I do love the fact
whatever.
I do like the fact that every time Dakota Kai gets in the ring, everybody tries to kill her.
Yeah, did you see that picture of her like wrapped up in the cage, like her knees
her
touching
knees
her nose?
Are touching her nose, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that looks like it hurts.
I feel like Dakota Kai is very flexible, so she gets away with it. But every time she takes a big fall, it looks devastating. Very, very devastating. I'm surprised that Bliss did not turn in this match, but the turn's coming.
Yeah, I mean, you can hold it off, right? I mean, the story here was Bianca and Becky and Bayley.
Yeah, and it evolved.
Everyone else is just there.
Bliss also impressed me in the ring in War Games. This is the first one. She had a lot of good spots, and she used her athleticism to her advantage, which was great. She looked like she wanted to be there. I loved the tease of Asuka and Io. They had a one-on-one for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, yeah, that's gonna happen soon. That's what I really want. I want Asuka and Io just to go at it
Yeah.
for a feud. Bianca feats of strength, Nikki Cross being crazy. Also, can we talk about Rhea Ripley getting bored and doing pull-ups in the inside of
In the cage. I was like, what are you doing, Rhea? she's like, Nikki's on top. All right, let's do this.
More space for me. All right. She's one of those people who would just be like in the middle of like New York City and just like go up on like the crosswalks and just do pull-ups for no reason. I loved it. I loved everything about this match. Great way to kick off a show. A lot of kendo sticks. Lot of kendo sticks.
Yeah. Well, women should really only swing kendo sticks because the chairs are too heavy.
I don't see why. I loved Mia Yim did a good job in her first War Games match officially.
Yeah, everyone looked good.
Yeah.
Everyone looked good.
And you know what it is? Everybody's getting a little bit more of their character. Like, kind of know what Mia Yim's character is. You sure as hell know what Nikki Cross's character is.
I don't like the Michin, whatever it is.
Oh, Michin. Well, it's Michin, Mia Yim, so it's like Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't roll the tongue. Personally, I don't know what it is. I don't like it. There's no reason I don't like it. I just don't.
I know
it.
there was some confusion. I think last week that they wanted to switch her to Michin, like officially just Michin.
No, you gotta call Mia.
Yeah, now it's Michin Mia Yim.
I get it. It means crazy in Korean, which fits because that's a good character for her.
Yeah.
But this sound it's a weird sounding word for me.
You know what it needs to be like. She needs to have a different gear when she becomes Michin.
Oh, that could work.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a demon Finn Balor, sure.
Kind of, or we're just like, she's going Michin now, or like instead of going crazy, she's going Michin. Where you like, it's kind of like there's Alicia Fox and then there's crazy Alicia Fox.
Right.
You know, there's got to be kind of a different gear when she kind of just loses her fucking mind. And you know, we kind of don't see. I would enjoy it as well. We kind of don't see that yet. But good for her. Good for her. Good for everybody involved. And then obviously the fallout from this. Becky Lynch is a fucking star yet again. The way she kicked off Raw, amazing.
It's going in the crowd. You think those plants are real people?
Those are real people because when she was talking to the guy, he saved the video, and he put it on Twitter.
Cool.
Of her talking to him about stuff and about the shirts and everything. I love Becky's new shirt. I don't know why, but I love all the colors.
That's cool.
But Becky's a star. In the press conference, Becky was asked, how do you feel about your first match back being War Games? She's like, well, to be honest with you, my ass hurts. But otherwise, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good to see the man back. I mean, her heel run had some hot and cold points for me. I didn't like her.
Oh, big time. Big time Bex is something that's going to be more appreciated, I think, as years go by.
That's I respect her for wanting to tweak a character. I mean, character tweaks has been a big theme around here lately.
Yeah.
But, the man still had some juice in it. And it still does. And then do the tweak.
Yeah, no, her I think her promo work was really good as big time Bex too as well. But her going through the crowd and literally just talking to people, which is something you never like. That's something you see when the cameras go off. Like Austin would talk to the crowd, Cena would talk to the crowd, but you never see that on TV, which I thought was awesome. And then them fighting, and now the feud moving forward is something another thing from the Four Horsewomen that we have not seen.
Becky Bailey,
which bring it on. They're both at great levels in their characters. It's going to be great.
It's a shame Bailey needs to eat another loss.
But I like her losing because it fuels her being more of a heel bitch, and if that fuels her screaming at Michael Cole more, I'm all for it.
She needs heat though. She needs some heat.
I was saying you can't take out Becky because she just got back, so you can't do that. You got to do something. I don't know. Who knows? But it also the interesting thing coming out of that press conference as well. I'm going to go reverting back to the pressure a couple more times because there was a lot of great information.
Go for it. If there's meat on the bone, jump at it.
There was a lot of great information that was released because they let them shoot for the most part during the presser, which I thought was really cool. So apparently Becky was supposed to go home for like her brother's 50th birthday or something when she got the call to do War Games.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And she was like, all right, I'll do War Games. And then Triple H said like 3 days later, she's like, oh yeah, can I just jump off the top of the cage? Okay. Yeah.
I'll do you one better. It's the finish.
So cool shit like that happens. Like I said, there's a lot of good stuff that was revealed by Triple H and company, and that I know we talked about the presser a lot being there was a lot of journalists. So Byron Saxon hosted the presser, number one, which is interesting.
Fair.
Byron hosted the presser. They had news outlets that sent in questions beforehand. Like if they couldn't send people to Boston, they sent stuff to WWE beforehand to have the people answer.
I think a lot of press conferences just in general are like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I've learned working in media. A lot of the questions are like, especially in news.
Yeah.
A lot of the questions are known ahead of time.
Yeah.
Which pisses me off, but it is what it is.
But then they also had Bleacher Report was there. A couple of local Boston news affiliates were there.
Issa was
the
there.
Marks were there too.
Yeah, you told me Issa and
Chris the B from Those Wrestling Girls was also there.
Yeah.
They were allowed to ask questions. So it was some Mark Media. I'll call them Mark Media.
They vetted the Marks. That's good though.
Well, they vetted Marks that we've also vetted as well. So that gives us a little bit more credibility too.
I mean, Scoop Satin wasn't
Satin
there.
was not there. No, not that I saw. But it was nice to see that from a personal standpoint. It's nice to see that people that we've known and try to help support and bring up from the years that we have been doing this, and personally know, like we personally know Issa, we've hung out with Issa, we've chilled with Issa, to finally see somebody like Issa and also Those Wrestling Girls get their due as credible and knowledgeable fans of wrestling that now work the media, and them getting a chance to kind of live out something that I would love. Like I would love to sit in the presser and just ask Triple H questions. You know what I mean?
Cool. I did see if Issa asked Triple H if they're gonna do a show in Latin America.
Well, she didn't,
or South America.
She did not say Puerto Rico or Latin America. She said, "Where else do you want to where are you going to expand?" Triple H, like, "Yeah, we're going to go fucking everywhere that we can." It's like if you, he was like, "If you have an interest,
they're gonna go to Mexico."
Well, no. Triple H specifically said, "Be on the lookout for Puerto Rico." He said that. He blatantly said that at the end of his answer to Issa.
That'd be
so
cool.
they are.
I wonder if Triple H knows Issa. It's like, I know she's Puerto Rican. I can tell.
He kind of said like a tongue like he might have already known. But like, so think about this. They're gonna like if they do a Puerto Rico show, which will be nuts. It's gonna be a Puerto Rico show featuring Bad Bunny. You know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, hey man, Issa is a beautiful woman. Have Issa walk Bad Bunny down to the ring. She would lose her shit. Like have Issa be one of like Bad Bunny's, like she's part of the entrance. There's a bunch of Puerto Rican women and Issa's just front and center. Oh my god!
Issa's like fighting off all the other women.
I mean, Issa. I know. Issa loves Puerto Rico, but she loves Bad Bunny way more. She's probably the top 0.1% of people who listen to Bad Bunny in her Spotify Wrapped.
Absolutely. So shout out to Issa. Shout out to Chris B of Those Wrestling Girls.
Shout out to Issa.
And also shout out to Those Wrestling Girls. Like I said, it's good to see, some of our people who I consider like common people who are just fans starting to progress and make waves and have an influence on the product, which is awesome. And it was also a good moment in the Triple H press conference spot that Issa, I think, put on her TikTok. It was on her TikTok, I remember as well. So Byron was about to cut off the presser early. And Triple H is like, well, number one, I'm in charge. And number two, I've noticed, Byron, that you've allowed all these men to get questions asked, while this woman here, which he pointed at Issa in front, has had her hand up the whole time, so she's going to get the last question.
Oh.
He called out Byron's bias in front of him.
What an asshole, Byron.
So that's how Issa got her question. Issa was the final question of the presser, which is pretty wild. So thank you, Triple H, for that and giving Issa that moment, because she's still probably losing her mind from it.
Yeah, shout out to Issa.
Yeah, that's crazy. So as we move along, Will, I'm just going to leave this here. Do you wanna talk about that?
Yeah, man. Talk about the fastest man ever from coming out of a burial. I didn't see this coming. First, let me state, I am so happy that he won this title. And don't get it twisted. I have always been a giant Austin Theory fan. I still think his Evolve run is the best run he's ever had, but this is gonna eclipse it. And at this rate, it's gonna eclipse it by tomorrow. So, yeah, this match was outstanding. If the main event wasn't so good, this would have been match of the night for me. This had Seth's fingerprints all over it. Great finish, and yeah, shout out to Austin Theory, man. Well deserved.
You know what it is with this as well with Austin Theory?
Not buried anymore. That's for damn sure.
Number one, this is when I see Theory now in the last 3 or so weeks, I see Evolve Theory.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is the Evolve Theory that got heat every time he opened his fucking mouth because we just hated him that much. And he knew it and he fed off of it. And what's different about the Austin Theory that we've seen in NXT and during pandemic times when he was with Seth, as well as that he has more of his own voice. He's not trying to be this kind of snobby character that was created for him. He is being more of his natural heel self that he grew on the indies and especially in Evolve, that people gravitated towards.
I see Randy Orton.
Okay.
With this version of Theory,
Okay.
It has a very, very high Randy Orton, like 2008 vibes.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you said, it's a brilliant finish. I did not see the finish coming. No one did. As you can see when they panned around the entire crowd.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming.
I laughed so hard when I watched it. Because K Murphy did spoil it for me, but shout out to K Murphy. But when I saw the finish, I laughed. I laughed and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed because the whole crowd was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I love it." Also, Bobby Lashley didn't really go for a spear; he kind of went for a roll up.
Well, his spears are usually rolls, anyways.
Are they?
Like he does a spear and a roll at the same time, so he's not landing flat. He kind of uses momentum.
Gotcha.
But here's an interesting thing. This is back from the pressure. So Triple H addresses the Austin Theory thing.
Okay.
So, this is how I know Triple H listens to everything. So Triple H on Austin Theory in particular during the press conference. Unfortunately for Theory, his career was dead 2 weeks ago. Now it's resurrected. I guess next week he'll be walking on water.
That's funny. That's pretty great.
Oh,
MJF just unveiled a new custom AEW title with a Burberry scarf-like strap.
Triple B Burberry belt looks cool. Fred's put in Discord a photo of it, please.
Send a picture of it. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Someone at work today was wearing one of those Burberry scarves, like the exact one from MJF. I was like, huh, Plainview? I wanted to go up there and be like, so, you a fan of Maxwell Jacob Friedman?
Honestly, I used to have a Burberry scarf, but I do not have one anymore.
It looks super comfy.
It's a scarf. Scarves are not comfy. The scarves are just scarves. To me, at least. I
don't like scarves.
There's nothing special really about it. Let's move on from this to the New Japan match of the night, which is literally a New Japan match. Especially, here's how I know it was a New Japan match. Did you see their bodies afterwards?
I was gonna say, did you see the scarring?
Yeah, when I was on my party with Charles, I was like, oh, they were hitting each other.
Yeah, they went for it.
Yeah, yeah.
They held nothing back.
This is like, all right. For me, if you wanted to show somebody what a pure professional wrestling match was, I'd show them this match. And what sold it for me is that they got the other outside shit out of the way early. Like the OC came in and took the Judgment Day out. You know what I mean? And they went to the back.
Went to the crowd.
Yeah, They went to the crowd. That got out of the way, and AJ and Finn were able to just have a pure professional wrestling match.
It was believable. It was very believable.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing with this, listen, there's nothing wrong with the match. The match was great.
No.
I understand how people say it's boring because, again, I think they had this I had a high expectation. I had an AEW expectation.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it. there's nothing wrong with the match. Match is art form. My problem with the match is come WrestleMania or come next year, I'm like, oh yeah, they had a match. I'm gonna forget about it.
Mm.
And that could be on me. It could just be a state of wrestling, but I'm gonna forget about this match.
There's also nothing.
great
There's
as it
also
was,
nothing
I'm
on the
gonna forget
line
about
for
it.
this match as well.
That there's no stakes.
Yeah.
I think that's another point to it too. Like we remember AJ Cena, we remember Kevin Owens Cena, right? We remember Seth Finn Balor. We remember all these classic matches, things we've been for in person, things we haven't.
Yeah.
This one, I just know I'm gonna forget about it.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything on the line besides Pride, which is fine. What I did enjoy about this match in particular was number one, the match in general, great finish. Number two, AJ Styles coming out in his Bullet Club like mask from New Japan.
Michael Cole also mentioned,
and that was my third thing. Michael Cole went through a really, really concise yet quick history of how the Bullet Club came to be.
Yeah.
Which I don't think has ever been done before in WWE TV.
They've never mentioned the words Bullet Club.
Yeah, and Michael Cole went pretty in depth about it at the beginning of the match, which is great. And that's what I
mean, you have to.
But that's what I loved about Michael Cole.
That's the story. Yeah.
He told you what this was. That's what essentially they were fighting for.
Yeah.
But the fact that Michael Cole was able to do it so openly is something that we've never seen before. But also,
not only that,
go ahead.
You didn't need to tell Michael Cole that. He knew that.
You can tell he knew it too.
Like that line that wasn't fed to him. He wasn't smartened it beforehand. He just knows that.
Yeah. But
I actually do like that. Okay, shout out to Mr. Fretz. I actually do like the strap right here.
It's not bad. It looks kind of funky. I got to get a better photo of it.
It's like a worn leather. It's like shoe leather. It's a brown shoe
leather. Yeah, I got to see the whole thing.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like it.
Yeah. But also, with Cole talking about all of that, it helps to legitimize professional wrestling and sports entertainment as a whole industry.
Yeah, it's important to know that life exists outside of WWE in the world of wrestling.
And that these guys do stuff outside of WWE.
And that people care.
Yeah.
And like the wrestlers care.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one little line probably meant a lot to both AJ and Finn because it's their history as well.
Probably means a lot to New Japan too.
That as well. You want to keep that relationship open too.
You know, especially when NXT goes over to Japan, which is going to be in the very foreseeable future. Yeah. You know, you want to keep that relation open, but it's good. Like it's good for business all around because obviously we're getting into Wrestle Kingdom season, which is going to be at the end of December.
January? December. It's December into January.
Yeah, correct. beginning of January, end of December, like something like that. Which there are some good things on that card, which we'll talk about when it gets closer to that time. But it's good to hear them talk about these things so freely, because it's a part of wrestling history. Like AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Bucks aren't household names without the Bullet Club and the internet. You know, but they had to start somewhere, and they started getting their fame once they all joined the Bullet Club.
Yeah. Yeah, Generation Me wasn't shit before the Bullet Club.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't. Kenny Omega was nobody. You know, they joined the Bullet Club. They went to New Japan. They were tearing it up. The internet helped spread the word. You know, to casual.
Hot Topic also helped spread the word.
Hot Topic as well.
Selling the merch.
It does look like emo merch. Yeah.
Every Hot Topic in Spencer's across the country.
But yeah, so it's very important that we know the history of where these guys came from outside of WWE. Like, AJ Styles was still AJ Styles, as you had his whole Impact run and stuff as well. However, you know, imagine if Michael Cole was able to tell all of those stories when AJ first came. You didn't need to, because AJ Styles was just so big at the time.
People knew him anyway.
Yeah. But to add that little emphasis, it just makes everything that much better.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool things with stuff like for people like us.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So shout out to that. So let's move on to. Yep, we're going to talk about it.
Womp, womp.
We're talking about the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Shotzi and Ronda, which I want to start out with a positive here a little bit.
It was quick.
It was quick. That's not the positive I wanted to bring up. Positive here is that if you look at this, if you take the botches out of it and you see what they were trying to go for, it looks like they were trying to tell a pretty interesting story. Um, with everything involved and the way that the match was constructed, it looked like they wanted to put something together. It wasn't too complex, but would have given a lot. It had a lot of good high spots and a lot of good storytelling to help push. MJF just jumped Regal. Ooh, that's different. To help push kind of the narrative along, and this is something that's going to continue to have probably lead to maybe even a Royal Rumble match. The only problem is that everybody got taken out of it as soon as Ronda forgot how to take a DDT on the apron.
Yeah.
That just hurt the match. I was like, Ronda, how did you fuck up an apron DDT?
Dude, I don't know what it is, but Ronda Rousey has lost all of her star power. It's gone.
Which is so weird because like when she like her, I want to say like when she's in resting holds and she's pandering to the crowd, and like she does a lot of those little counter,
Just talking,
those counter UFC
shit.
stuff. Like, okay, this is a good character that we can work this off of. But it's like the other core wrestling spots, like that apron DDT should have been a great flawless spot in the match that helped to give Shotzi some hope. And then, Shayna comes in and helps out Ronda, blah, blah, and Ronda still wins. But the fact that Ronda it seemed like she wasn't ready to take the spot, which is crazy to think. Because if you look at it, she holds on to the rope at the last second. Her legs don't fall. You're like, your legs are supposed to fall out.
Yeah.
And flatten. And like, instead, her knees buckle in, and it just, like, it looks bad. Real bad. I don't know what that talking was backstage. Like, they didn't have even Ronda or Shotzi do a presser either. It was a very controlled press conference of people that they brought out. But it just looked bad, and it's disheartening. So for me,
yeah, she's just not a draw for me.
You know what it is? I was watching this. I forgot I was watching. It might have been a clip or something. Talking about Ronda. Oh, I was watching This Is Awesome, and they were talking about best debuts.
Yeah,
and they brought up the Ronda debut, which is an awesome debut. By the way,
great debut.
Minus whatever Dave was pissed about at the time. Remember, with that whole argument.
No, stole
Asuka's moment.
the Asuka spotlight.
I was like, no, but okay.
Well, I mean,
No,
because she was in the ring with her. Asuka wasn't left laying. Like,
yeah. It was that, and Charlotte said it, I think, on the doc or on the series, saying that Ronda's an attraction, which is good. Ronda is an attraction. She is that category of sports entertainer, and she's an attraction like Roman Reigns and Brock and Cena are now attraction level superstars, and that's what you should.
Is she overexposed? Is that it?
Well,
is she on TV too much?
Here's what I'm getting to. She's an attraction, which is good, and that's great and stuff. However, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, The Rock are all attraction, and John Cena, but they also had a foundation of knowing how to actually wrestle for a considerable amount of time. Like, they built up to being an attraction.
Right.
Where Ronda came in as an attraction with minimal wrestling experience, had a Hall of Fame first year.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Great rookie year.
Yeah, Hall of Fame rookie year. Like, where it wasn't just her being on shows. She was doing the live events. She was touring with everybody, which is what you're supposed to do. You're learning the business and everything like that. The issue is that in a lot of sports, you can have a great rookie year, but that sophomore season, there's a reason it's called a sophomore slump. Ronda didn't have that sophomore slump. She left to go have a baby, and now she's back, and this is essentially her sophomore run. And now she's being exposed.
Yeah, she's very exposed.
And it's one of those.
It's a great point.
Yeah, she wasn't like, you can do it for a year and be good at it, but like AJ Styles, Cena, Rock, these guys were doing it for years.
It's like when she took the time off, she took all that time off. Like, she was not training for wrestling. Like, she's probably still in shape and
of course, yeah, she's a world athlete,
and stuff. Like, she's an athlete, right? And her husband's an athlete.
Yeah,
but she wasn't like in ring shape.
Correct. And her character work needed help, which I agree, her character work needed help a lot. But you got to have that in-ring skill as well.
Yeah, dude, she forgot how to cut a promo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's kind of getting better at it.
She's getting better because Shayna's next to her.
Yeah, and give it time, I guess. I don't blame Shotzi for this. She was put in a no-win situation.
She was trying. She was trying.
She was trying. You know, she can be a little sloppy at times as well, but not her fault.
The apron DDT moment was not her fault at all.
Yeah.
She had.
Oh, so you think those fans when they fell over the fans, those plants?
Yeah, those. Will, would you have kept your hands to yourself if you were on those chairs? Those are definitely plants.
I mean, if it was Shane on top of me, I would have been like, "Ew." But anyone else, I'm grabbing something.
Those are I had the same conversation with Charles when we were watching the show. I was like, those are definitely plants.
It had to be plants.
Those are definitely plants.
They even sold too. They're like rolling on the floor, like, "Ah, my hip." And there were 3 large men, so yeah, they were definitely plants.
It would have been really interesting if they weren't plants and that just became a part of a show. Like if you sit in these.
Yeah, if they just knew what to do instinctively.
Actually, that probably would have been us. We probably would have sold. Like,
oh hell yeah, I would have sold. You're kidding me? I would have sold right to the courtroom. Or at least backstage. I get to sit in gorilla, all right, for 30 seconds.
They were probably PC recruits, Mr. Fretch. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, for sure.
But even then, that's still kind of wild. Like, hey, you want to be on the show? All right, cool. Send these seats. What? You'll know what to do.
You'll know when the time comes.
That's like, what was it? And remember we had Gargano and Ciampa, and somebody was like, "Johnny, take my sign," and had a.
It was a stop sign.
It was a stop sign. Yeah. That was definitely a plant.
Oh yeah, the fan. How's a fan gonna bring a stop sign to the metal detectors? What's that for? You'll know. You'll get it. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm a fan.
Or you know what would have been cooler? Because I don't know. It probably was a plant. I'd have to look back at the tape. But what if it like wasn't a plant per se? This is just me. Because we'll never know the story. What if like, because sometimes you'll have like stage crew or someone go up to a fan and be like, "Hey, you want to be a part of a show? Blah blah blah. Sign these things. What do I have to do?" Like when you
that's possible
when you select somebody out of a crowd,
yeah. Yeah,
because that would also be cool. So like you go to a show and like someone like, "Hey, I work for WWE. We're doing this spot. You want to help us out in the match or something?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah! What do I got to do?"
Yeah, hold this.
Hold this. Blah blah blah. When you'll know, which would be pretty cool. That also would be really cool as well.
That baby with Montez Ford, that was planted.
That baby was not planted. I know that.
Who brings a baby to a wrestling event?
Also, yes.
Someone who can't get a sitter, I guess.
That baby's gonna be the most famous baby in the world if they ever grow up. But yeah, no. Back to this. There's a lot of people who are calling for Ronda to be fired. I don't think you fire Ronda because that would be
fired.
Stupid. Yeah.
No, what do you got? Your fucking mind?
No,
fire her. Shut up.
You give Ronda more training. Ronda just needs to be more consistent and developing this new, more true to herself character.
Dude, she's still in a contract with all that money.
Yeah.
Fire her. Shut up.
Exactly. You make
Idiots.
Ronda has to do a little bit more of a live event touring and stuff and things like that just to develop the character. Like when I know there's a story that Miz talks about when he was learning how to cut promos on the microphone. He took every opportunity he could on live events to get maybe 5 minutes in front of a crowd, just to talk and figure out what he needs to do. And that's what Ronda just needs seasoning. She needs seasoning. She needs time in that ring to kind of catch her flow. And probably a year or so from now, she'll be fine. But at this point, it looks bad. It looks bad on her. And she's going to need a lot of work to get to where she needs to be, especially come WrestleMania season, because they're not going to do a Los Angeles WrestleMania without Ronda Rousey in that ring in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, duh, dude. Come on,
yeah. So it's going to be a little bit of a quick turnaround. But overall, War Games, holy shit, what a premium live event.
Yeah, it's an 8.5.
Yeah, Boston crowd was great. The press conference I love. I want to see the press conference return for the Royal Rumble, WrestleManias, obviously, and SummerSlam. That's the only time I want to see press conferences.
Yeah, big four.
Yeah.
Maybe Money in the Bank.
Maybe Money in the Bank if they keep Money in the Bank as a concept. Triple H doesn't.
Depending where they are for Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's these limited press conferences because their press conference only lasted maybe 40 or so minutes. And it's a press conference. If you do Money in the Bank press conference, I would only have the Money in the Bank winners.
Yeah. No Tony Khan.
No Tony Khan. No Tony Khan. There's also a good thing about the presser as well. So the first people there were Sami Zayn. Like, Roman didn't do the presser. It was Sami and Paul Heyman, which is really cool.
Oh, God.
Well, here's the great thing. Paul Heyman didn't speak, really. He let Sami do a lot of the speaking. And Paul Heyman just would add emphasis to whatever Sami was saying if he needed to. Which is brilliant. And you learn a funny fact about Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn's first experience to wrestling was Survivor Series 97 in Montreal.
Really?
Yeah.
What an introduction.
Yeah. That's the first wrestling show he ever watched.
Most successful Survivor Series, the highest buy rate on pay-per-view, was 98.
Yeah.
Deadly Games.
Deadly Games.
Deadly Games!
So.
Corporate Rock.
Oh, yes, correct. Deadly Games tournament.
Yeah, destroyed Mick Foley for the first time.
Yeah, that did happen. All right, so let's move on. Again, Survivor Series War Games, great. Let's move on to NXT real quick and to Will's favorite new match, Iron Survivor. Do you remember the rules of Iron Survivor? I bet you don't.
Kind of. There's a penalty box.
There is
Let me see if I get this right. 2 people start.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Every 5 minutes, a new person comes in, so it's 5 people. And it's the most pinfalls wins. If you get pinned, you go in the penalty box for 90 seconds.
How long is the match?
25 minutes.
I believe you are correct. Let's look at these official rules again. Wow, that's a picture of Gigi Dolan, which is great.
Always a big fan.
Yeah, always a big fan. Let me look up these Iron Survivor rules real quick. By the way, the Iron Survivor panel. So they brought in Hall of Famers to do like essentially a selection show for all of the Iron Survivor people. So who was on? Do you know who was on this panel?
Derek Jeter.
No.
Don Mattingly. And Don Zimmer.
No, none of them. None of them at all. So you had X-Pac, obviously.
Road Dogg.
Road Dogg again.
DX minus Billy.
Yeah. DX minus Billy.
The ghost of China.
Alundra Blaze was also on there as well. Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa.
Cool.
And Molly Holly.
Good old Molly Holly.
Which I love Molly Holly. I think she's all. I don't know why Molly Holly's not a coach for them. Because she could wrestle.
Maybe she doesn't want to.
That's true. Also, have you seen Dominic Dijakovic come back?
I have
You
not.
haven't seen Terminator Dominic?
No.
Terminator, or it's actually Dijak he's going by. He's not going by Dijakovic, he's going by Dijak.
Oh, he's back to his guy's real name again.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Good for him.
Yeah.
Welcome back to World of the Living, sir. How's Reggie doing with his like Swifty gimmick?
We're not talking about that. I refuse.
That bad?
So bad. You never saw the video?
Bad? No, I didn't need to. I saw the picture you sent me.
No.
Has he been seen since?
I didn't want. I actually went to the movies last night, so I did not watch last night's NXT.
Oh, what'd you see?
We'll talk about it on the post show. I saw Glass Onion.
Was it Glass Onion? How was it?
We'll talk about it on the post show.
Okay, I heard it was cheeks and it was ass. I've also heard it's amazing, so I don't know who to believe.
So here we go. The Iron Survivor people in the men's match. You have Grayson Waller. You have Carmelo Hayes. You have crazy ass Joe Gacy. You have JD McCoy. Or formerly Jordan Devlin, but JD McCoy. And then you are going to have this wild card who no one knows yet for this.
It's gotta be Reggie.
Stop it.
That's gotta be Reggie.
Stop it. Stop it. I swear. He comes out with a fake Paul Bear and everything in flames come out.
Oh no!
Oh my god. That's hysterical.
Help it's Jeff Jarrett for real though.
God, I hate Jeff Jarrett. But
Tyler Bay would be cool.
Tyler Bay would be a good one. So you're pretty much right on the rules. Two superstars start every 5 minutes. Someone else will enter. Most falls to a finish. If you lose, you go into the penalty box for 90 seconds.
Dude, if you take out the penalty box, I think it's a lot better.
But where would you hold them?
Just if you get pinned, you get pinned.
That just becomes like champ. It almost becomes like a scramble then.
Yeah, the scramble was cool.
I did like the scramble.
The scramble, I think everyone started at once with the scramble.
Yeah.
So this one is intervals.
This is intervals. Yeah.
The penalty box is it's too confusing. There's too many clocks.
That is also an issue. I don't know how they're gonna do that. That is very true. I still don't know, and I think I don't know if they ironed it out, no pun intended. I still don't know when the 25 minutes starts. Like, if they do it war game style where the 25 minutes don't start until, that person, till the last person.
Dude, that'd be such a long, it's an hour match, dude. That's so long.
That is very true.
It's gotta start after the first two come in. 'Cause it's 2 minutes, three more. That's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, so you got 10 minutes with all five of them in there.
True. So yeah, it's gonna be rough. So deadline's gonna happen. JD McDonough, my fault, is Jordan Devlin's real name. JD McDonough, who's doing great character work as a fucking psychotic heel next to Joe Gacy. And so in the women's match also as well, again, there is another wild card spot, which we don't know who the wild card is going to be. But in the women's match, we have Zoe Stark, who finally came back from her knee injury, Cora Jade, who's actually dating Braun Breaker in real life, Roxanne Perez, everybody's favorite little munchkin, and Kiana James, who I'm very surprised is going to be in this match as well, because I feel like she's a little bit green and also a wild card, although Kiana James does have a great look to her. I will tell you about it. Like, we'll look up Kiana James and tell me what you think. Kiana and then James.
How you spell James?
Really?
I'm just kidding.
I was about to say. Yeah, so this is also... I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I'm going to tune in because this is next week.
Oh, she's married. Who cares?
Okay, hold on. As a see, blah, blah, blah.
Damn, she's muscular.
She's fit. Okay, so...
She is fit. Oh, she's cute. She looks like a girl from Hofstra.
Really? She does look like a Hofstra girl. All right, so the wild cards are going to be determined in triple threat matches next week. So it's not going to be a true wild card, and Tyler Bate isn't one of them. So the men's wild card slot is going to be against Von Wagner versus Axiom, who you obviously don't know. It's a masked person. And then Andre Chase of Chase U, which is still my favorite thing in the world. And then the women's wild card slot is going to be between Wendy Chu, Fallon Henley, and Indy Hartwell, which will be very, very interesting to see.
What about Nikita Lyons? Where's my girl?
I'm surprised Nikita Lyons isn't in this, to be honest with you.
Man, she's just all over Instagram. That's for sure.
I still think Xia Li has the better Instagram these days.
Xia Li also is all over Instagram.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, look at my ass in the gym. Like, okay.
She's scary fit, though. Like, I would not want to fight her.
Yeah, not at all.
Not gonna lie. But yeah, also, didn't you say Mandy Rose just broke 400 days as champion?
400 days as champion. I saw that today on Facebook.
That's pretty wild. I do know.
I always forget she's in the company.
Because you don't watch NXT, that's why. She's doing good stuff with Toxic Attraction. I'm interested to see when they bring her back to Raw and or SmackDown. Because to be honest with you, I think she's done a lot of what she could do in NXT.
Yeah, she learned how to work.
She learned how to work. She learned how to work at crowds. She's better at promos. And I want her to...
Keto Lyons is so fucking curvy.
She is. I want her to bring that NXT... I want her to bring that persona back up to Raw or SmackDown. I probably would say SmackDown. And I think I would love to see all of Toxic Attraction on SmackDown as well. Because I think
I agree.
I think you have enough for Raw.
Yeah, SmackDown needs help.
Yeah, I think you need to bring some heat on SmackDown. Which I think would be good for them. But also, the more women you do, the more they need that secondary title, or at least a title that's defended on TV. So for instance, like if you want to keep like your world titles being defended specifically on premium live events and have like a secondary title equivalent to like a US or an intercontinental title and just have them defended on TV, like a women's television championship or something like that, I think that would work for them. But the WWE still has this issue, I believe, Will, where their women's roster is starting to grow at a very rapid pace, and there's only minimal things to fight for, and the tag team championships aren't doing it.
Is this NXT or WWE?
WWE.
Yeah, like you have this Becky Bailey feud, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, who cares?
It works because it's Becky and Bailey, and they're already names.
Right, but who's Bianca going up against?
That's the issue.
That's an issue.
Well,
who's Ronda going to go up against?
Who knows? I know Bianca.
Who are the tag titles going to go up against?
Their tag titles. Oh, Bianca came out in the presser officially and did say she wants to beat all the 4 horsewomen, and the only one left she has to beat is Charlotte.
Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte's coming back.
So she actually said she wants to face Rhea and or Charlotte at Mania.
No, Charlotte's the match.
No, I know Charlotte's. I think Rhea's Rumble. Charlotte is Mania.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Rhea versus Ronda.
I like that.
I mean, they're both heels though. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, Ronda can't play. I don't think Ronda.
Oh, it's Becky Ronda. Duh.
Yeah, because they never got their one-on-one.
Dude, here's the thing though. Will people care
for Becky Ronda?
Yeah.
Yes, because Becky will make them care. I trust Becky to tell the story.
I do as well, but she's going to completely overshadow Ronda.
I think that's the idea.
Like, if she exposes Ronda even more, you're looking at middle of the card
you
night
mean
one.
you mean expose her like in the ring?
Like, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In all aspects.
That is the Ronda dilemma. Where how do you?
Yeah, Becky will make us care about her.
Yeah,
but can we make her care about Ronda?
That is an issue. How is Ronda gonna make us care?
She can bury the fuck out of Ronda. That's for damn sure.
Ronnie. I wanted to say Ronnie like all the time because I know I got under Ronda's skin. I don't know. That's where Ronda needs to, like I said, Ronda needs to start putting in a lot more work so that she doesn't have a match like that at War Games happen again. Because next time she's going to have a match, it's going to be at a premium live event. It's going to be at the Royal Rumble.
That's next PLE.
Yeah, and that's not going to be a forgiving crowd.
That's what? That's that's 2 months from now. It's like 8 weeks.
Yeah. So like she's got to pick it up and pick it up quick, because that performance was not what you'd expect out of a champion.
Yeah, it was bad.
And out of an attraction.
It was bad.
She's just got to get more comfortable in the ring again. That's really what it is. But I still think the more women you start to bring up the roster, which is great. I'm all for it. I also love Sarah Logan as the valet, being Valhalla now is her name.
That's cool.
She is Valhalla. But like, do you need something for these women on TV to fight for outside? Because like, their names aren't big enough yet to attract the general populace.
Yeah, Shotzi's getting there.
Shotzi's getting there because they started investing more in Shotzi. Like when Vince was around, they took away her tank and all of that stuff. She has to
give her. They took her last name. Give her a year.
Mm-hmm. No, she's creating her image, and I think that's why Triple H went with her for right now, because he wants to start to build her.
And the talent's there on The talent's there on SmackDown. You got Shotzi, great talent. You got Lacey Evans, phenomenal character. You got Xia Li, who's just sexy and a badass and Chinese and different.
Yeah,
right? Checks a box.
She's the first ever Chinese signee, I believe.
Yeah. What else you got in that women's division?
Zelina.
Oh, you got Zelina, who's a great valet. You got Raquel, who's been not looking good.
Not great lately, but there's still something to build there.
It's talk about big fish in a small pond with NXT.
She
She
was
has,
the one that got held back because remember they brought up Rhea and everybody else, and she was
yeah.
which is a total Triple H thing to do. There's always one person they held, but
They had to hold it
they
back.
had to,
They had
or else
to,
they wouldn't have a
and it was the
division.
right thing to do because it was like, hey Raquel, this is your division.
Yeah,
And then they changed to NXT 2.0, took the belt off her, and she faded away.
mm-hmm.
And they called her up out of nowhere.
She's got to reestablish herself, which I think she can. She has a great. She's one of the more unique. She's one of the more unique. She has a unique presence.
Yeah, she's big.
She's big. She's huge. She's powerful, and she's just got to play up what she did on NXT on a more consistent basis.
She's
the problem is they made her.
Did she have a face run in NXT? I don't remember.
It was a face run, but it was on the face.
Brief?
It was a face run, but it was under the premise of I'm a badass.
Yeah, she's like smiley.
She's
wavy.
smiley. She's the Rock. She's survive like.
Yeah. Hey, let's go out there and be Apollo Crews, all right?
Yeah, no, she's the Rock when the Rock first got there. Is that like she's happy to be there? She's smiling. She's cool on this happening baby face, which is totally a Vince move. And she's getting rejected. I need the Raquel that was like throwing people through walls. Remember when she threw somebody through a wall?
I do now. Now you mention it.
Yeah.
Didn't she like lock Dakota Kai in a locker?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Raquel we need. She would still be a face, but like I need like Big Mommy Cool was what we were calling her in NXT Raquel.
Yeah, that's right. We were calling her Big Mommy Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was just cool ass giant, it's Hispanic woman that just kicking people's ass. And she had the Chincona bomb. Like her finisher's fantastic. I love her finisher.
Yeah, powerbomb.
Yeah, a one-arm powerbomb.
Yeah.
It's
a great finish.
It's a great finish. It just there's nothing behind it yet.
Yeah.
Which is funny because actually her and Ronda had a good match that one-off that they had.
Yeah, and she like broke her elbow or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
Out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, so
which hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
We established her character.
The
video packages.
The characters are there in the women's division in SmackDown. They are. They're there. It's very obvious they're there.
I mean, it's very easy to have Raquel bounce back. She comes back at the Rumble and just dominates.
She's one of those people that she becomes she's the one that clears house.
Exactly.
She becomes the person that clears house.
A good performance at the Rumble will put it back on the map.
Absolutely. So the characters
her and we have a stare down. Yeah, right itself.
The characters are there in the SmackDown Women's division. You just have to develop those characters and need to get more TV time. Yeah.
TV time. Give them time.
It's that simple. But like there's a good nucleus there of young talent that they can run with for a very, very long time. So I'm interested to see what they do. I know Lacey Evans hasn't been on TV. I think she might have been re-injured. But I know she was start to come. There's no one wearing a bikini, dude. But I think I think when she does come back, I think should be a great addition to that SmackDown women's locker room. It's because Lacey Evans should never be a babyface. Lacey Evans is a heel, fantastic.
She should also wear a bikini. This guy's.
I if you've seen Lacey Evans' Instagram, she's fantastic.
I think the question is why isn't she wearing a bikini?
Very true. Lacey Evans, someone I would never want to fight as well.
No, she's a Marine.
She scares me. Yeah, yeah. She's a very efficient with the handgun, and other guns as well. But yeah,
terrifying.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all we have this week.
Yeah, it's a good hour show. We always manage to fill an hour.
Hour 20.
We at hour 20?
Yeah, we did about an hour 20. We did a good job. So.
As we do.
Oh, Jade is.
Good job, Kay.
Thank you, Kay. Yeah, thank you so much, Kimber. Kay, I have anything to say? Thanks, Kay. Love you very much, Kay.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. As always, Kay, thank you very much. So yeah, let's get the show on the road. Waiting for that audio. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 318, Armistice. I am your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me in Ambassador Viggs across all media outlets, BIGZ, Ambassador Viggs. Find our show here, Kings of the Rings podcast, at KOTR_podcast on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, all over social media, at, again, KOTR_podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Please leave us some reviews. Hit that thumbs up button if you may. The links to all of our stuff are in the description below, including a link to our merchandise website, which I will reveal to you for the first time today for the entire holiday season, all the way through the first 7 days of January. Everything on our merchandise store is on sale for up to 25% off using the code HOLIDAY. So please click on our merchandise store, buy yourself some great merch for you and your friends this holiday season. If you're listening to our audio, make sure you're subscribing to Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, where you'll get our show as well as the Brace for Impact Wrestling Podcast, the WrestleMania Podcast, and the Young Lions Perspective Podcast. Follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at Addict_Wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else on social media. Again, the links to all of that are in the description below. Will Tarashok, what do you got for me?
Oh, man, I'm so glad I don't owe $200,000 of child support a month. Kanye West owes $200,000 to his more rich and famous wife in child support. What kind of fucking country do we live in?
I have some information about how they calculate child support. It's very fucked up.
Oh, let's do it. Let's get into that in the post show. I'm a fan of Kanye's music, but about that's where it stops. But $200,000, man? What a fucking country we live in. But I'm Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, ARASHUK. You can find me arguing with people on TikTok at Talking with Tarashuk, talking about the economy and stuff. I've been on a rampage.
Oh.
So, yeah, go check that shit out.
Very, very interesting.
Big pharma price gouging fuckers. Ricky,
Yeah.
don't even get me started.
I'm trying not to. When we come back next week, hopefully Kay will have their internet fixed. Hopefully there'll be more things to talk about. Austin Theory will hopefully still have the title, and everything else going on in the world of wrestling. And MJF may debut a new belt, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, NXT Deadline is next week, so we'll talk a little bit about what's going to go on that show as well. So until next week, folks, goodbye, good night. Enjoy the beginning of the last month of 2022. And what's that one? Oh yeah, fuck you, Slack. See you next week. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, what the fuck happened?
Kanye West owes $200,000 in child support.
That's a lot. So, hold on. I gotta pull up this video. I gotta find it because it'll explain a lot more than me. There's this woman I follow on TikTok and on Instagram. She's called The Advocate.
Ooh.
Number one, she's a gorgeous woman. Gorgeous strawberry blonde woman. But she has a lot of interesting series where she has she flipped mansplaining on its head. It's called womansplaining, but she womansplains men to other women.
How's that work?
It's great. I'll see if I can play one for you. It's like womansplaining men to women, when womansplaining women to men. But she also, her husband also was recently diagnosed with ADHD. So she posts a lot of things she's learned about dealing with someone who has adult ADHD and how to better communicate with them.
At this rate, who doesn't have ADHD? People be like, I have anxiety. It's like, yeah, dude, get in line.
The difference between anxiety and what makes it kind of really a thing.
I do actually have clinically diagnosed anxiety. I actually took medication for it, but it's like, yeah, bro, everyone has anxiety.
Yeah, it's a matter of if it for you. That means it's called
being a millennial.
For you, it's the fact that it probably when your anxiety kicks in, it takes away from your day to day.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no,
it fucks you up.
For me at my worst when I was in high school.
Was it test anxiety?
No, it was social anxiety. It was a lot of things.
Oh, that's
so
rough.
it was to the point where I couldn't eat. Like, I was so anxious, I just lost my appetite.
Goodness.
I got so thin, like my veins were popping out of my arms, and I was like visibly shaking at times because I was so anxious. So like, yeah, when people say I have anxiety, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, get on my get on my level. But at the same time, it's like, dude, everyone has anxiety. It's called being a young person.
Yeah.
But clinical anxiety, where you're actually medicated for stuff, is like way different than just being nervous and having anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I figure it's like a kind of thing with ADHD. Like, ADHD is a real thing. Don't get me wrong, but like I also have OCD. So like my compulsions were my anxiety.
Oh, okay.
So I would not only be anxious about something, I would obsess over it.
Gotcha.
But anyway, you were saying ADHD.
Well, no, she posts videos about like dealing with her husband has adult ADHD and what people should know about how to deal with people with ADHD and how to better communicate with them and things like that.
Definitely patience.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely patience. I would also probably say, they have a lot of reassurance-seeking behavior.
Yeah.
So you can't cave into that. Like for someone with anxiety, they're always seeking assurance and like, is everything okay? Is everything okay? You cannot give into that and play that game. You think you're helping. It's like a hit. It's like a dopamine hit.
Yeah. Let me see. In defense of short kings. What is female? What is this one? Oh no, not this. Oh, here we go. It's called Men Pay to Be Fathers. I'll see if I can bump up the audio for you to be able to hear.
Judge said I can only see my daughter on weekends, so I got a job at her school. Now I see her Monday through Friday and get to have lunch with her. This right here is, one, pretty much the same reason I married my husband, and two, the reason I talk about this stuff. When my husband found out he was going to be a father in his early 20s, he left his job, family, and friends to move hundreds of miles away to be as close as he possibly could be to this child, to see him every day. And what happened? Family court did the same thing, gave him just every other weekend. Yeah, this man turned his whole life around to get a house a mile away from the mother with an extra bedroom just to see his kid 4 days a month. And this was years before he met me, for all the bitter people who think that men only step up to impress their girlfriends. And so now what's going to happen to this man is, because he's been given the most bare bones parenting time schedule, he's also going to have to pay the maximum amount of child support. And whether it's a public or private school, he's probably taking a pay cut to take this job. And so what the child support office is going to do is calculate his child support at his potential income, what he was earning before, not at his current income. That means this man's child support could be calculated at, say, a $70,000 a year income when he's only making $40K, all of which, by the way, is giving a huge chunk of money to the state. So basically, this man and many men like him are lining the pockets of so many people just to be a present father. It's time for family courts to stop assuming all men will be deadbeats when there are hundreds of fathers just like this one fighting to stay in their kids' lives. And remember this clip every time you disrespect a father just because he doesn't have... Judge said I can only...
Just because doesn't have custody, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, I know...
That's the crazy part about it. It's like your potential... Like, who are you to say what my potential maximum income is?
Yeah, but what's my perceived value?
Yeah.
Well, dude, I know, like, in society we talk a lot about how women are this, women are that, it's unfair in this way and that way, which, don't get me wrong, a lot of it, if not all of it's true, but people do not like to talk about how fucked up child support in the court system is against men in divorce court, alimony, and like seeing their children. It's so fucked up how much like monopoly women have on that. And I get it. Women are more important for childhood development and raising and whatnot.
Theoretically.
Yes. And I would say in practice, I'd say for the most part, mothers are more important than fathers, but fathers are just also super important, and men get fucked in that system. It makes me so mad.
Yeah, I didn't know all about this perceived income thing, obviously, because I don't come from a blended or mixed family or anything like that. But like when I listened to her, I was like, wow, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. The courts fuck over the men so hard.
Something I knew about something like that is I've listened to Titus, and Christopher Titus, he comes from a pretty crazy background where he knows all about the courts, and he's been divorced. So, and divorce and had to deal, the separation of children and stuff. And so that's also crazy in of itself too. But yeah, that's That's wild.
Yeah, no, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Divorce. Divorce with a kid. Because they're gonna take half your money and then child support, and it always even like unless and like even if the wife or the woman makes more, she will pay a fraction of what the man would pay if he made more in child support.
Yeah, no, it's she has some great stuff. I'll try to let me see if I can find you a good women's planning one that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Um,
Like people. I also the Beyblade thing was so funny with Allison there. I'm just seeing this picture right
Oh,
now. We didn't get to talk about Beyblades.
Beyblade theory. That was kind of weird. That was very, very weird.
Well, I bet Triple H was like, "Oh, we need someone to promo these Beyblades for. Who in this roster probably played with Beyblades? Bobby's in his 40s, probably not. Seth got laid, definitely not. Austin Theory. You're 24. I guess close enough."
That's very true. I love this. Mom went to the NWO. We have the NWO at home. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Womansplaining men to women. They don't want to chase you. This is a fun one.
Men don't want to chase you. They don't want to play chase at all. They want to play tag. They want someone who's going to get them back. They want someone who's going to make them faster, stronger, more strategic, someone who's going to challenge them. Like, imagine being a kid at a playground and another kid comes up to you and asks if you want to play, and you're like, what do you want to play? And they're like, chase. And you're like, cool, how's that go? I chase you, and then what? And then they're like, and then you just keep chasing me forever. What the shit is that? This is the most boring game ever. If you want to chase, chase back. Men don't want to. They don't want to play.
So she's fun. She's a fun little thing, but also, oh yeah, I saw Glass Onion.
What'd you think? I loved Knives Out. Knives Out is just such an excellent movie.
All right, so Glass Onion, from a murder mystery standpoint, it's not as clever as the first one. This one I think is funnier, because I think the cast is also funnier as well. Like Batista plays a Twitch streamer. He plays an extreme right-wing Twitch streamer that carries a gun wherever he goes. And it's literally right next to his penis. So like they were in a pool and he comes out of the pool and he has the gun in his Speedos.
That's pretty cool.
And he just randomly fires off the gun whenever he wants. So it's a funnier. Batista's actually, I saw one of the previews. Batista's going to be in a he's going to be one of the lead roles in an M. Night Shyamalan thriller coming out next month.
Interesting. Good for Batista.
Listen, man, he's got to do something. That man has a very sad personal life.
I know.
it's
so
very sad,
so
personal
sad,
life.
dude. It makes me like he's 24. He's like, yeah, I'm sad. It's like, oh, stop it, Dave. Stop it.
Yeah, I go home to nobody. My ex-wife still supports me, but she can't be with me because I'm never around. I was like, God damn, Dave.
He's like, data book's really annoying. It didn't work.
Oh man. So no, he's Batista, like that guard when he got Drax's Guardians, that really blew him up and like showed that he can act. You know?
It's funny, man. He's funny. He was in Bond. He's a good action. So he's a good action star, man. Yeah. Like he knows stunt work. Like you know,
he's huge.
And he's jacked.
Yeah,
he's likable. Like he's a good heel. He's a good babyface.
Yeah. So yeah, no, good for Dave. But I think it's a funnier movie. This time around, they really play up the comedy. I just know two of my friends hated it. I just don't know why I didn't talk to them about it. From like a murder mystery standpoint, it's not as clever, but it's still good.
Dude, the first one was so clever. The first one was so good.
You know what it was? It was because I was talking about this with my boss. Because I told her how I was going to go see the movie. It was more of like, it was the shock of the people playing the roles. because like you had never seen Daniel Craig play this random guy with a southern accent.
Hercule Poirot, was that his name?
No, Benoit Blanc.
No, that's Benoit Blanc. Sorry, Benoit Blanc. That's Hercule is the Agatha Christie novel.
Yeah, he plays like him playing Benoit Blanc, this southern gentleman detective. Totally throws you for left field. He's the only one with a southern accent. Again, totally throws you for left field. Like, where the fuck did they find him? You know? And then you have Chris Evans playing an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
it was great. The movie's great.
You know, it totally throws you for a loop.
Dude, it was so unexpected.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you did like knives. Like, what the fuck is this movie? Like, okay, like I'm interested. And you see me like this movie had no business being that good.
Yeah. And
I'll catch it when it comes on Netflix and see for myself.
Yeah, and Ana de Armas was also in there as well because she's the one that throws up whenever she lies, which is really funny. And she blew up. She's the one that played Marilyn Monroe in the Netflix movie. As well. It was weird to see because before the movie started, the Netflix logo came up.
In
the theater, yeah.
Yeah, because it is technically a Netflix movie.
They bought the properties to Knives Out, yeah.
So that makes sense it'd be in the theaters. It's in the theaters for what, 2 weeks?
Just one week and then it goes straight to Netflix.
I wonder how it's going to work for their business model.
I think it might save them, but you have to...
Who, Netflix?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. How much those ticket sales does Netflix get?
I don't know, because I also went on Discount Tuesday, because I'm an asshole.
Like, because here's the thing, right? Like, it's going to be good for Netflix. Is it going to be good for theaters?
Depends on the quality of the movie.
I mean, it's in general, because they don't get much in ticket sales anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because
I mean, because they already get hosed by the movie the studios.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Netflix hosing them even more.
Yeah.
Because like AMC's desperate.
Listen, I love AMC. AMC now has a deal. I mean, you can still rent out a movie theater.
Don't get me wrong, dude. Their deals are so good because they're desperate. Like AMC Movie Pass, it's a phenomenal service.
I just don't like the fact that you can only see 3 movies a week.
I mean, how many times do you go to the movies?
Not often, but I could if I wanted to. But like, I get why it's only 3 movies. Like, there is the Regal one is like unlimited, anytime. Although the AMC tops them because if you buy like their A-list service, there's no upcharge for any style of movie. So you can see like an AMC movie in 3D with the A-list pass or the premiere pass or whatever it's called, and they don't upcharge you. So it's everything that one flat fee. I just like Regal more because I like their point system a little bit better. But I do like AMC's popcorn more. If that makes sense. I know it sucks. I'm sorry. But the AMC I go to, but since I live more out east now, it's one of the dine-in movie theaters.
Ugh, lovely.
So what they do is that you can put, like, if it's not popcorn, obviously, you put your order in for, like, you want to say you got like chicken tenders and french fries, some basic shit like that, or a hamburger, or whatever. You place the order, they know, like, what theater you're going to or whatever, and so they start serving the food as the trailers are going on. And that AMC movie theater also has heated seats.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's clutch.
Yeah.
I never got to see Black Panther.
You never? Oh, damn.
I bought tickets again to see it that next weekend, and I was staying at Jazz's on Friday night.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go see it next day on Saturday. And 2:30 in the morning, I wake up, my eye starts bothering me again.
Shit, dude.
And it's like 3 hours later, I look in the mirror, my eyes fucking red all over again. I didn't bring my drops.
Damn, dude.
So I couldn't sleep, and I was just like, I was all gooey. So, and like this was like my left eye. So the pick eye was originally my right eye.
Yeah.
This is now my left eye. So I'm like, I call an Uber at 5 o'clock in the morning to come back here to Hoboken, take my eye drops, and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. And
then like, we just didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give it a few more days with the eye drops. My eye was fine by like the next that evening.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I returned tickets again. So I got like a $40 credit on my card to go see whatever movie I want. Like, this movie's fucking cursed. I'm not going to watch it.
No, you got to go see it. It's still kicking ass in theaters. It's still destroying in movie theaters.
I know. I've only heard good things too. Apparently, it's a fucking great movie.
Yeah, it is still destroying.
I'll never know. We watched half of the first one because she never saw the first one. We watched half the first one.
How did you not see the first one?
I know, she's a bad black girl. I'm sorry. I was like, Jazz, you betrayed your people. Even though, like, you're kind of black, but, like, not really black. West Indian. Yeah, West Indians. I guess Woman of color.
Yeah. That's the best way you can do
Yeah,
it.
I go. You're not black. You're a person of color.
Yeah. You know what my thing is now? I've been watching them on YouTube for some reason. So there's a lot. What gets a lot of traffic on YouTube, I found out, are reaction videos and people watching movies for the first time ever.
Yeah, of course.
So I've been on this kick. I started finding people who have never seen the MCU at all.
That's great.
So you follow them from the beginning of Iron Man all the way up to like Infinity War and Endgame is usually like the range that they'll go.
You just watch it.
And watch them evolve into liking specific characters and pointing things out.
Yeah.
It's really fun. This one girl who I'm watching now, she fucking. You remember the scene in Infinity War where Captain America first shows up behind the moving train, and like he has a beard for the first time, and she's like, oh my god, she goes, Captain Daddy, and she's like, oh my god, excuse me. She's like, I'm sorry, but the beard changes everything.
Love this. It does, dude. Beards. I saw a meme there. It's like Jason. This is what Jason Momoa looks like without the beard, ladies. It looks like a thumb. It's terrible.
Yeah. So no, it's funny to see them. It's funny to see people who have never seen the MCU before react, and to see them get invested, like out of nowhere, and also who they like as well. Which is funny. There's just one girl who I was watching. The scene when Captain America first is like gets a super soldier serum, and he comes out and he's all like chested up. She goes, "Damn, he's got some D's on him." Oh man, but I do love reaction videos. I just watched this woman watch Infinity War for the first time, and she was just in shock. And then you know what made her lose it, which is probably what made everybody lose it? Remember when Peter Parker died?
Oh my god, so sad, dude.
That broke her. When he goes, I don't feel so. He should. I mean, I know he didn't win shit for it, but he should have won. I would have given him an Oscar for that, like 30 seconds right there.
Best supporting actor.
That always made me wonder in a mega movie like that, who is the lead actor? Like who?
Tony Stark.
In Infinity War and Endgame?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's paid the most.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, Iron Man is the biggest star because he's the leading actor because, one, he's the biggest draw.
He also
right? He's the biggest box office draw.
He also has a great agent because the contract he renegotiated
that too.
midway through his Marvel run was fucking amazing.
You know, his character has the arc.
The longest arc of everybody.
The longest arc, right? So he's Tony Stark is like the focal point of the whole series.
Yes.
And the whole franchise, really.
Mm-hmm.
So for Avengers, it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But if you want to do like an ensemble cast, like if I was gonna do the Expendables.
Again.
Right? Like even the first one. Who was the leading role of the first one? Well, Sly Stallone.
Was it Sly? Was Sly the highest paid?
Yeah. Well, he's the main character.
Okay, well, yeah.
They had a
defined main character in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Sly.
Like if you want like Departed, right? You got Matt Damon, you got DiCaprio, and you got Jack Nicholson.
It's Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Like, who's the main character in that one? I mean, man, flip a coin. You can pick any of them. It's all three of them. It's all three of them the main characters. Their movie.
Yeah. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
You saw Ragnarok, right? Like Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, I saw it once.
Okay, do you remember the scene when they're like recreating they're doing like the play in Asgard? And it's like it's the fake Loki and the fake Thor, and one of them's Matt Damon. You remember the scene I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
So there in Ragnarok, well, before Thor returns to Asgard for the first time in a long time, they show this play that they're doing. It's called like the Passion of Loki, because Loki's supposed to be dead, and we know he's not in this movie at least. And one of the actors it's Matt Damon playing Loki.
That's pretty. That's excellent.
They recreated Thor: Dark World. I forgot who the other actor was that plays Thor. Matt Damon, Loki. Matt Damon. It's so funny. It's such a funny cameo. Uh, in Ragnarok. Ragnarok is still one of my funny, like, one of the funnier MCU movies. Fake Thor in Ragnarok. Who? Oh, it's. Let me see. Oh, okay. It's so the guy who plays fake Thor is Thor's brother Luke Hemsworth.
That's fun. Got the forgotten Hemsworth.
Yeah. So I've been watching. Speaking of Chris Hemsworth, I've been watching his Nat Geo show on Disney Plus called Limitless, where he's trying to find different ways to trying to be healthy and trying to find ways where he can like live a happier lifestyle to make sure that he lives a long life. And so in I think the penultimate episode, he finds out that when he started this journey, he was working with like a longevity coach, and they ran a bunch of tests on him, and apparently he has the same gene marker on both sides of his family for Alzheimer's, which means senses on both sides of his gene pool, which means he's 8 to 10 times more likely to get Alzheimer's.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, which is like after the show came out, he said he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take some time away from acting right now so I can enjoy my memories while I can.
Yeah, so I can remember them.
Yeah. He just recently came out and said, I was like, wow, that blows, dude. But he's been doing some interesting stuff on the show. So like the last episode I saw is to help him get more in tune with his senses and help his memory and stuff like that. So what they did is they went into, because he still lives in Australia. So what they did is him and a friend went into the outback of Australia, where the native Aboriginal people are still at. And they were allowed in, like they asked for permission, they allowed them in, because I think his friend is also part of was a descendant of one of the native tribes. So they were allowed, and so they had to get to this kind of this mountain overlooking, the outback countryside. But they had to do it with no electronics, no cell phone, and no navigational equipment.
That sounds difficult.
Huh?
It sounds very difficult.
Yeah, so they flew overhead into it, and they took pictures of the area, and then they kind of had to map out their area beforehand to figure out where they're going to go. It was a 2-day trip. In a sense, it was really funny because the doctor that was helping them lead them on the journey, she's like, all right, let's go, but first things first, we're going to need all your cell phones. So Chris Hemsworth pulls out his cell phone and gives it to her, and she goes, is that all of them? He goes, actually, no. And he pulls out one from his sock.
One more.
And she's like, is that it, Chris? And she's like, he goes, okay, there's another one. He pulls one from his hat. It's like, that's all of them. So it's pretty interesting. They literally had to navigate in the woods with no compass, no directional equipment, no nothing. They had to go by, like, pretty much to tell the direction they were going to go by where the sun was in the sky. The sun goes east to west. So you can figure out east and west. You can figure out north and south. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Just like, you can figure out east to west, but you kind of got to guess which way is north and south.
Very true. But there are some forest tricks. Oh, Frets, I did watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. It's really good. You might like it. The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. It's really quick, like 45 minutes, Will.
I do like Guardians of the Galaxy. The movies are very fun.
So in the movies how he always talks about Kevin Bacon?
Uh-huh.
So in the Christmas special, they steal Kevin Bacon.
mean, they steal Kevin
Like
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon is in the special.
It's pretty funny.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. The Guardians of the Galaxy are really fucking funny. You know what it is? Because they're lovable idiots.
They are lovable idiots. Very true.
They're absolute lovable idiots, and I'm gonna miss when Batista gives up that role. What do you think he's doing the final one?
Yeah.
Gonna do the final one. Speaking of Guardians, so you know the director who's James Gunn?
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble for no reason.
Yeah, they brought him back. Well, did you? You don't probably follow as much as I do, but James Gunn has now been named the lead of DC.
I think I did know that.
Yeah, he's essentially the Kevin Feige of DC now.
Funny how that works.
Well, this all happened. Like, he got fired, he came back, he finished Guardians 3 and all the Guardian stuff. And, well, because, as you know, DC's movie franchise and stuff are in shambles because it doesn't fucking make sense to anybody.
Right. Yeah, it's just like, these
are movies.
Stop it right now.
So they finally hired James Gunn, and now he's going to create an actual DC-connected universe like Marvel did. And I'm like, finally. Because there are a lot of DC properties that could do well. That can do really, really well. And they fuck it up because there's no continuity. Except Margot Robbie, who comes back and plays Harley Quinn whenever the fuck she wants.
She is a great Harley Quinn.
She's a great Harley Quinn. Although, speaking of which, Glass Onion, Kate Upton's like in a bikini like the entire movie.
God bless that woman.
You know, it's one.
In the Lord's word.
I didn't know who she was. I was like, why is she so slamming hot? Like, who is this woman? And it was like featuring Kate Upton. I was like, oh, that's why.
Got it. Heard. Understood.
Did Verlander approve this?
They married?
I know they were together for a while.
Good for him.
Yeah, well, they've been dating for a while. But Pretz, when you get a chance, watch the Christmas special. Also watch the I don't know if you saw Werewolf by Night, Pretz. You should watch that as well. It's a Marvel's little ode to classic horror movie tropes, which is actually really cool. As well, but no, it's crazy stuff in the movie world. I want to see Glass Onion. I will not see fucking Avatar.
Yeah, dude, I don't give a fuck about Avatar.
People are theorizing like Avatar may fucking bomb at the movies. It may not do well.
I don't know. Because here's the thing, like, society exists outside of the internet.
Yes.
And people outside of the internet are very excited to see that movie.
Yes. I still don't know why. But it's because I still don't know why.
I could see it being surprisingly successful.
Okay.
I mean, the problem is, dude, like, the story of Avatar, the movie of Avatar, kind of ass.
Yeah.
It's kind of ass.
It really is ass.
The visual effects were groundbreaking for the time. But that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost. No, yeah, it's not true. Actually, almost.
Almost,
Actually, no,
yeah.
almost 15 years ago. It's like nowadays, the visual effects, for the most part, have exceeded that or caught up by a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like, what else you got?
Not much.
James. What else you got?
Yeah. James Cameron's just pissed because Avengers shitted on his fucking record.
I mean, duh. I mean, like, what did you expect, Mr. Cameron? The problem with your movies are none of them can have sequels. Well, Alien. I take that back.
Yeah, okay.
Like, other than that, none of them really have sequels. Titanic 2, good luck.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, there's some interesting theories going about because there's a lot of stuff. Like, you heard what Scorsese said?
No.
So Scorsese was on some podcast and was bitching about what he called the Marvelization of movies.
This was a long time. This was a long time ago, right?
No, this was recent.
Recently?
Yeah.
He did it again?
Yeah, he did it again.
Man, Spielberg was doing this too. Like, listen, Marty, if they called you to direct, like, I don't know, Supersonic Superman, whatever, 6, for $58 million, you wouldn't shut the fuck up. You'd do it.
his whole
You're not above that cash cow.
his whole argument, which I disagree with, is that he's like there aren't any. His argument is that there aren't any movie stars anymore because the characters are the stars and not the actors playing it.
Ooh. He's saying
He's saying the property is the reason you go. You don't go to see the actor, essentially. There's
some truth to that.
He's not completely right. He's not completely wrong either.
Yeah. It's a hot take.
It's an argument that you can have for days, and nobody can actually be completely 100% wrong.
Because here's the thing: if you like think of Batman, right? Mm-hmm. Matt, I know it's not Matt Damon. Ben Affleck. Bad Batman, and people stopped going to see those movies.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert Downey Jr., phenomenal Iron Man. Like Hugh Jackman,
Daniel Craig,
phenomenal Bond.
Bond. In my opinion, the best Bond. In my opinion,
I'd say the character lays. The property lays the strongest of strong foundations.
Yes.
Right? It's an iron tight foundation. But it's the actor's responsibility to build the rest of the house.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson had a good take because he was asked about it obviously because he's Samuel L. fucking Jackson. And he was like, he goes, because him and Martin Scorsese are friends. He's like, I disagree with my friend. He's like, it takes an actor to bring these characters to life. Without the actor's performance, the character and shit. That's your argument with like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck, shitty Batman. People stop seeing Batman. You know what I mean? Like Henry Cavill, pretty great Superman. And people started watching Superman. Like Henry Cavill's Superman did really well. But no, it does take Samuel L. Jackson's argument also was that if the actors become stars by playing these roles really well. Like for instance, let's take. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I got you.
Let's take Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is known for some iconic characters, right? But if his first big one, I think was Han, right?
Han.
Han.
He had a few smaller roles, but his breakthrough was Han.
If Harrison fucks up Han Solo, you think anybody's seeing Indiana Jones?
No.
You know what I mean?
No, that's a great point.
Like if Chris Hemsworth fucks up Captain America, no one cares about him in Knives Out. Or if Chris Hemsworth fucks up Thor, which he got close a couple of times, he doesn't get these other projects that he did, what I think he did for like Netflix and some other stuff that he's been doing. So it's a thing that like, yes, people do go see the characters and the story, which in my opinion isn't a bad thing. That's a lot of the time. That's a lot of reason why people tune into wrestling, because of a story. Something draws you in story-wise. But it still takes somebody's performance to, like you said, to build off of that groundwork. No,
it's an interesting point. Well, I mean, if we're going to a deeper problem with Hollywood, where it's like original movies can't be made anymore because they don't make money.
Which is what Jennifer Lopez was bitching about. Because it's like Jennifer Lopez. No one's really going to see your rom-coms anyways.
I mean, facts. But you saw Matt Damon on Hot Ones, right?
I did not know.
So Matt Damon on Hot Ones made such a great point about this. He's like, it's not that people don't want to make original movies, but it's just that these movies can't. They don't sell, not because they're not good or not popular in theaters, because there's no DVD market. A lot of their money was not just made on the first wave in theaters; it was made even more money in the DVD resale, in the Blu-ray resale.
After it was reviewed and people started talking about it, and so you can go out and buy it.
Exactly. Or it was so good, like it's gonna be bought anyway. Mm-hmm. That back half of the market is gone. So to make an original movie as a director, you're putting in $400 million, just hoping you can break even.
Yeah.
For all the marketing and everything. Whereas with DVD sales, it's a safer bet. So in Hollywood, it's not that people don't want to make original movies or it's hard to make original movies. It's too big of a gamble.
Yeah.
So the properties are much safer, which makes total sense.
That's why Fast and Furious keeps coming out.
Exactly. It makes total sense. It makes total sense.
Yeah. I don't know if you were, Samuel L. Jackson actually went on record about why he did Snakes on a Plane, which is really funny. But he also talked about his career. I've seen this quote a couple times with Samuel L. Jackson. He talked about he never wanted his career to be about chasing a trophy. He's like, I'm going to do the roles that I enjoy doing. If I never get an Oscar, so be it, because I enjoy playing Nick Fury in Marvel, and I enjoy playing Mace Windu in Star Wars.
Yeah, man, fair
And
enough.
that's what I want to do. I was like, wow, an honest actor. So, I do love Samuel. It's going to be a shame when he calls it quits.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting up there in age. He's old.
I know, but he's still going. But damn, I love Samuel. Like, he's so good. He's so good. And he plays such good roles.
Great actor.
Yeah. And he's never out of work. Never out of work. So, have you seen the trailer for have you heard of the original House Party movie series back in like the 90s?
No.
Okay, it was more of an ethnic movie, but it's called House Party, where these two guys would throw essentially house parties and they'd get into shenanigans. Classic 90s tropes. You know, let's do something crazy while the parents aren't around. Uh-oh, what's going to happen now? Like that thing. It's like Grown Up Home Alone too. So again, it's another thing of properties. They are re-releasing a modern day house party, but so here's the premise, which is really fun, which I think is kind of entertaining. It's these two black guys who work for a house cleaning service, and so they're in charge of cleaning this property for like a weekend while the owner's not around, and the owner happens to be LeBron James.
That's great. Awesome.
So they have to they throw a house party in LeBron James's house while he's not there.
That sounds fun.
And it's the shows LeBron has a sense of humor. So in the trailer, they find they go into like a throne room or something like that, and there's a hologram of LeBron hyping LeBron up. Be like, LeBron, you are awesome. You know why? You're the best person ever. But it's like, oh my God, it's LeBron hyping up LeBron. So that's gonna be interesting. There's another trailer I saw, which is it's gonna make money in Massachusetts. Just shit. It's like these. It's Jane Fonda is making a new movie. But yeah, it's her and her three other elderly actresses, and apparently the big thing is they're big Tom Brady fans. Love Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, and so apparently this is based on a true story. These four like upper age women, elderly women, try to go to a Super Bowl that Tom Brady's in, and it's the Super Bowl where he comes back against the Falcons.
Amazing.
And apparently Rob Gronkowski's in the movie, and apparently Tom Brady is also in the movie, and it's the cheesiest thing ever. But it's called 80 and Brady.
Ew.
But I want to know how they weave in Tom Brady, the comeback they did when they beat the Falcons.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
It is very, very interesting. Sam Neill played Justice League.
I love Sam Neill. Great actor.
He is great. I mean, I only remember him more so for
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. You know what it was? It was the hat. It was the hat.
It is the hat.
It's the hat, man. But he was like such a part of my childhood too. Like he was the dinosaur guy.
Yep, he's a dinosaur guy.
You know what I mean? With the raptor claw and and all that shit. Did you ever see the most recent Jurassic World Dominion?
No, I saw the first one, and I guess this movie was okay. I stopped.
Don't watch the second one.
Yeah, or the third. I heard the third one's even worse.
No, the third one's good. If you enjoy the franchise, because it's a coming of both parts of the franchise together, which is cool. But don't watch Dominion. Is it Dominion?
I think so.
Whatever the second Jurassic World is, do not watch it. I was like, this sucks. It's like, this is really bad. But also, Jeff Goldblum. I can't, like, I don't think I've ever seen anything Jeff Goldblum's done and been like, this sucks.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's a great actor.
Yeah.
Love me some Goldblum.
I also want to know how he is, like, because he just looks eccentric.
I would love to talk to him. Like, Jeff, let's just talk about some baseball. You a Yankee fan? Ew, the Reds. What's wrong with you?
Like, Jeff Goldblum just looks like he just has a great time doing whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's rich and famous. What else do you need?
How old is Jeff Goldblum?
He's probably in his 60s. If I had to guess, late 50s, early 60s. I'm gonna guess 58.
Let me see.
70. He's 70?
Wow, really?
Motherfucker. Looks good for 70.
Yeah, he does. He's had a couple of marriages.
Yep, most of them do.
Yeah, he's 70.
He's made a Gina Davis.
4 years. He's a jazz musician too, apparently.
He is. He has an album.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he has an album. I think it's on Spotify.
Is he any good?
Probably. He's Jeff Goldblum. He's good at everything.
I'm looking at all the, like, if you actually look at Jeff Goldblum's, like, filmography, like, it's okay.
Independence Day, The Fly.
Everybody knows The Fly. I'm looking at stuff from the 2000s. He only does, like, 2 or 3 movies a year. He was in Resurgence? I did not know that. Oh, he is the Grandmaster. Is he the Grandmaster in Galaxy Volume? Oh, his closing credits cameo. Okay. Oh, he was in Hotel Artemis, which I did not see. Oh, his Fallen Kingdom is the second one. Don't see Fallen Kingdom.
Dominion's the third
Dominion's
one.
the third one. It's Fallen Kingdom. Do not see Fallen Kingdom. Dominion's the third one. It's got a lot of TV credits.
Does he? Good for him.
Oh, he's in a bunch of Jurassic Park video games.
Boy, get them royalty money.
And he's got 2 albums and a compilation.
He's 2 out. Good man, Goldblum. God damn it, Goldblum. What a guy.
He goes. What did he win? He hasn't won. Has he won anything big? Never won an Oscar. But he's won a lot of film critic awards. So Jeff fucking Goldblum. Gina Davis. Emil. Jesus Christ. So I'm reading on his personal life. It said in mid-2014, Goldblum became engaged to Emil Livingston, a Canadian Olympic rhythmic gymnast, 30 years his junior. So she's 40. She got first in the Pan Am Games in '99.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, right?
I can't do that.
Speaking of which, before we get out of here, because I'm about to go soon, how do you think Team USA does? You see, we made it past the elimination. We made it to the elimination round.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I haven't been watching. I don't really care.
They're the second youngest team in the World Cup, which means a lot of them will be back by the time we host it 4 years from now.
It would be really funny, though, if America wins World Cup. It's a sport we don't even care about, and we enter it next time the defending champions.
On American soil.
On American soil. And be like, well, let's go. Listen, guys, it's the soccer cup now.
No, it's pretty nuts. I've watched all of their games. There's only been like 2 or 3 of them. They're not a bad team. They're just young.
No, and the World Cup's fun to watch. I just
Yeah.
haven't watched it. It's on so early in the morning, and
That's the only shitty part, yeah.
yeah, I got to turn Hulu cable, and it's just like I'd rather watch YouTube.
The World Cup is one of the only events I love to watch in another language.
Oh yeah, that's in Spanish.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. No, you are correct. That is the most correct statement you have said all night.
It is probably it's probably when Telemundo gets the roast ratings.
They have the rights, yeah.
Well, yeah, because Telemundo's a part of NBC, I believe, or Fox.
Well, there you go. No shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would. I love Spanish announcers doing soccer.
Yeah, it's great. They're so excited.
So excited.
They get so excited for a yellow card.
And then when someone hits a goal, oh my god. I love them. And then you ever watch a Spanish announcer during like a baseball game?
No.
They're fun. Especially when it's like a home run, they'll go, no, 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 no.
I mean, Spanish people are just awesome. I love that Latin culture, dude. I love it so much.
They're so
It really is the best.
Yeah, you gotta watch a Spanish announced team call a home run. It's really good. It is knocking thoughts. What's the next movie I'm gonna go see? Oh, by the way, next year's gonna be dominated by Jonathan Majors. If you haven't seen already, you know who Jonathan Majors is?
I don't know who that is.
He's in The Walking Dead. It's Black Guy in The Walking Dead. He is going to do. Well, he signed a multi-year deal with Marvel, so it's going to be the next upcoming Marvel movie, which also features.
Yeah, he's gonna be just
which
fine.
also features Bill Murray.
Amazing.
By the way, but also he's going to be the main antagonist in the third Creed movie.
I still have to see Creed 2.
You never saw Creed 2?
No, the first one was excellent though. I love Michael B. Jordan.
Creed 2 is really good.
Yeah, he's such a great actor.
And that's the same guy. The director of the Creed's also the Black Panther. Same person, Ryan Coogler.
Oh.
Ryan Coogler.
I saw the trailer for Creed 3, and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Majors as the antagonist.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
And I looked at Jonathan Majors, I was like, this motherfucker's ripped.
It's like, hey, Ricky, black actor.
Do you, like, he was on the Daily Show, and Trevor Noah was like, what's your body fat? And he's like, it's like 3.5%.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's intimidating.
Yeah, no, I didn't like when I saw him because he was on the show Loki as He Who Remains, and he was not that big at all.
Hey man, you gotta get on those steroids for
Creed
boxing.
for boxing, yeah.
Yeah, you get on those steroids.
Yeah, Creed 1's excellent. Creed 2 is better. Creed 3 will not feature Rocky at all, thank God.
That's fine.
Well, his story's over. When you see Creed 2, you'll be like, all right, his story's over. We don't need to see Rocky anymore. We can move on past this.
Hey, man, I do love me some Rocky though, Adrian. I got brain damage, Adrian. Yeah, I'm gonna do it for you.
No, Rocky's good, but I think his story ends after Creed 3. After Creed 2. When you see Creed 2.
Yeah, dude, he's not needed in these movies. Michael B can carry it. It's fine.
Yeah, Michael he's a great actor. He's so good.
Oh, look at
Like,
I did love Rocky Balboa when like old Rocky loses to that black dude.
I will say, Michael B. Jordan also, got a boost from playing one of the best villains in Marvel movie history.
Warmonger?
Killmonger.
Yeah, dude, like I was watching it again, I was like, fuck, this guy has such a good point.
I was like, I don't want to agree with him.
I was like, T'Challa, your dad really fucked up, bro. I was like, he's got all the, he's right. I mean, he's wrong. He's a dick about doing it, but he's fucking right.
Yeah, he's justified.
He's justified.
I was like,
he fought in Iraq, like,
like he's a killer. He is literally a killer.
Also, Andy Serkis steals that movie for a little bit.
I love Andy Serkis.
He was in it for. He's like, oh, I made it rain. He was. You know what? He didn't overstay his welcome.
He's playing Andy Serkis.
Yeah, like, he was in the movie for just enough time.
Yeah, I mean, he also
was perfect.
He's in Ultron too.
Is he?
Yeah, because that's where they go that's when they fight Ultron on the ship. because they're like, who? Because he's the only one that knows how to get vibranium in the Marvel world. And so when the Avengers go to stop him from getting more vibranium, Ultron's already there, and Ultron's the one that cuts off his hand, cuts off his arm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch that too. I've only seen that one once.
Ultron gets better the more you see, because you realize also because Ultron is also a really good villain as well. He's also one of the funnier villains because he's just a wise ass.
I always forget Ultron was a movie.
It's one of the forgotten Avengers movies because Endgame, Infinity War were so big, and the first Avengers movie was just blew everybody out of the water.
Was Ultron before or after Civil War?
Right before.
Right before. So yeah, it was like okay, so that was like the first butting heads of Captain America.
Yeah,
and
it goes
Stark.
Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War.
Ant-Man was fun.
It's all about Luis, the guy who tells the stories.
I love the movie. I love the I forget what like the skit or like the line or whatever the gimmick or the fucking thing online. It's like, why doesn't Ant-Man just crawl up like go tiny, crawl up into Thanos' butthole and then enlarge himself? Yeah.
Oh man, there's a whole how it should have ended about the different ways they could have ended Infinity War and
logical fallacy.
Yeah. No, that's good. But Andy Serkis is in Andor.
I love, dude. I'm so glad Andy Serkis is like getting like roles we can see his face.
Yeah, he doesn't play Smeagol.
Yeah, he's not just CG all the time. I mean, dude, he's excellent.
He's a great actor.
He's great in the Planet of the Apes.
Which one?
All of them. He's the main ape in Planet of the Apes.
Huh? I did not know that.
He's Caesar. He's Caesar.
I did not know he was Caesar.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is Caesar.
Interesting.
Yeah, he should have won an Oscar for. He needs like a lifetime Oscar for his fault. the groundbreaking work he did in film.
Yeah,
as Smeagol and Caesar.
Yeah,
and Kong. He was King Kong too.
Ha, that's awesome.
Peter Jackson's King Kong.
I love Peter Jackson's King Kong. I thought it was a great movie.
It's about a half hour too long, but it's great.
It is a very long movie, but it's really good. Wow, I did not know this. I know Andor's a drag from what you've probably seen, but Andy Serkis shows up and it gets exponentially better.
I haven't seen any of it. So
okay, I will tell you this.
First season just ended?
The first season just ended, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. Yeah.
It's good. It takes a while to pick up. My only advice is watch the first 3 episodes at once because the first 3 is just one really big episode.
Right. I'm going to watch it. I was watching Clone Wars and I was like, ooh, but wrestling. I started watching 97 Wrestling again. So
how far are you in Clone Wars now?
I'm still at season 4 Clone Wars, about 5 episodes in.
Okay.
Where like the clones are on like the Umbra planet, with the new commander who's like kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's a dick. He doesn't consider clones people.
Okay.
He has the 4 arms. It's like General Killian or something.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah, no, it's getting darker.
Yeah,
it's getting
Getting
good.
darker.
It's getting really good. Hey, I'm very excited. I gotta sit down and actually binge it.
Listen,
I'm very excited.
when you 5, 6, like the last 3, 5, 6, and 7 is just a rush.
Yeah.
Of a lot of information all at once.
There's a fucking war.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
rush.
Like I love how Disney Plus has like hey, here's this section Star Wars in order. I'm like, oh, thank you.
They do the same thing for Marvel. They have like the Marvel in release order. You can watch it by phases, or you can watch it in like
canonical order.
Yeah. It's fucking great. I was like, wow, this is easy. I just wish they had.
Yeah, dude.
I wish they had the
organizing your content. No shit.
Yeah, I just wish they had the properties of Spider-Man. It's the only thing missing from their catalog.
Dude, they are missing the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah, but they're missing.
Or all the
they're missing all the
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man. Sony will not give it up, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, that's all they have left.
Yeah.
They're like, well, Microsoft fucked us with PlayStation. So we have Spider-Man and... Well, we have Spider-Man. We have Spider-Man and, like, Kratos.
Listen, God of War could make a great movie series or a TV show.
TV show, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God of War can be a successful one, but we'll see. Anywho, let me get out of here.
Yeah, time to hop.
I can finish watching more reaction videos.
Thanks for watching. That dude who follows on Twitch. Thank you very
Buy
much.
some merch. We have discounts and all that hot shit. Please.
See you all later.
Woo-hoo. Maybe Kay will come back. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Midnight music.